49ers hoping to win this and tie the overall series. Joe Nedney will kick off for San Francisco in the third preseason game. Both the Raiders and 49ers came into the Coliseum tonight with a perfect 2-0 record, and things will change as this is as close as it gets to a regular season game, because obviously in the fourth game of the preseason, both coaches will rest many of the regulars, or they will get just a brief look. Cartwright in the end zone will take the football out across the 10, the 15, and down before he gets to the 20-yard line. So the big change at quarterback for the Raiders, of course, is Campbell taking over for Jamarcus Russell, and that has been the big change, because if you know anything about the Raiders, it was the inconsistency at play at the quarterback spot last year. And Campbell came out last week very strong, leading the Raiders to an opening drive touchdown, and trying to do that again tonight. Raiders first and 10 at the 19-yard line, and it's Bush. Takes his first carry, gets across the 20, dragging tackler to about the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at the Xfinity starting lineups tonight. Darren McFadden missing 16 days with a hamstring injury. To Michael Bush's job to lose, although both likely are going to split time back there. With Samson Tedeli injured, rookie Jared Valdir gets the start. He's the tallest center in the league at 6'8", but Tom Cable says he has short legs, so the 6'8" is not really a factor for him, but he has beaten out Chris Morris, at least right now, for that starting job. Second down, Campbell has time, now throws, and it's complete. Push out of the backfield. He will be very close. He appears to have the first down. Patrick Willis makes the tackle for the 49ers. Needed to get to the 29-yard line, and he picks up the first down.
And you look, this is a very simple play right here, but this is a smart play. They weren't getting this type of quarterback play out of Jamarcus Russell. He was looking outside. Campbell was looking outside, and his first receiver was taken away. He didn't try to force it. He just dumped it down, and that's what you have to do at the quarterback position, and that's what they're happy with in this guy.
Crabtree and Murphy, the receivers of the Raiders, on first down. Murphy is in motion. Bush is in the backfield. He faked to Bush. Time for Campbell. Throws over the middle, and it's complete. It's Crabtree across midfield to the 50-yard line. Tackled by Terrell Brown. Xfinity 49er defense. Brea Franklin is signed, but his holdout has been a huge advantage, really, for Ricky Jean-Francois, who has gotten great experience. Big competition at linebacker between Travis LeBoy and Darrell Briggs. LeBoy isn't starting, but I'm using that for competitive reasons. You'll see it tonight. And defensive coordinator Greg Minuski singled out Reggie Smith as a player who has stood out in his third year at safety. Another first down for the Raiders. A lot of time for Campbell, and he throws, and it's complete down inside the 20-yard line. So Marcel Reese makes the play. Michael Lewis brought him down. But the Raiders driving right down the field.
Well, you got a simple blown coverage out here. They had Paris Harrison, number 98, out in coverage, and he's not expecting to have to cover all the way down the field. You see him, he dropped him thinking that he only had flat responsibility, and there should have been someone out there. There was miscommunication on the back end, and those are the type calls and plays that really puts holes in your defense and allows the big plays. You can't have that, and I know Minuski won't be happy.
Raiders line up three receivers. They give it to Bush, and Bush gets maybe to the 15-yard line, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Nice job defensively. And Dawson in on the play, along with Isaac Sopowaga. Now, Bush, you're going to see a Raider backfield. Bush getting the start, of course. McFadden has missed an awful lot of time with injuries there in camp. But they're two very different players. Bush between the tackles, runner, and, of course, McFadden is the game breaker. So a little two-headed monster for the Raiders. Of course, Justin Fargas released in the offseason. Second down, 10. Raiders in an opening drive, impressive as they were last week. And it's caught by Hayward Bay, and he got away from Brown, but not the second man, and he's down about the 7-yard line, shy of a first down. Deshaun Golson made the tackle.
Hayward Bay is working on T. Brown out here at the right cornerback position, who's in there starting. for Shante Spencer right now. And he was just involved in a blown coverage, and then he had a couple of balls so far caught in front of him. So he's going to have to tighten things up. He's getting his shot at it. And Hayward Bay is doing something that he hasn't done, previously as a Raider, and that's just catch the ball. He's doing a sound job of that today so far.
Two tight end formation, one receiver out to the right. That's Hayward Bay. And it's Bush. And Bush gets the first down at 5-yard line. There's a flag.
Bush to the 5, a penalty flag on the play.
Patrick Willis made the tackle for the 49ers. It appears to be against San Francisco.
Offside. Number 99.
So Manny Lawson is the man offsides, and the Raiders will have a 1st and goal on a very impressive opening drive.
Yeah, outside linebacker 99, Manny Lawson just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar on that one. Just trying to get a jump, trying to make something happen because the Raiders are just marching down the field on him, but he was just a little early on that one.
Career high 6.5 sacks. Manny looking for a new deal. He wants a new contract.
Well, that's not the way to get it. Jumping off sides.
1st and goal for the Raiders. Murphy, the receiver, to the right. Hayward Bay to the left. Bush, low man in the backfield. And it's Bush. And Bush straight up the gut and gets near pay dirt. No signal yet. And he's going to be shy, just shy of the goal line. Isaac Sopoaga in there on the tackle for the 49ers along with Justin Smith.
Well, this is something both of these teams are working on. The Raiders want to get their rush going. Their offensive line hasn't been doing a lot of that, and their run game hasn't been that great in the last couple of years. And the 49ers definitely want to be stout in the middle. That's the core of their defense, is that front three, stopping the run, pounding things, allowing their linebackers to run free, and they won on that play.
Reese is the fullback. Bush is the running back. On 2nd down and goal. Ball just inside the 1-yard line. And it's Bush. This is his kind of football right here. And he's in for the touchdown. Touchdown Raiders. And for the 2nd straight week, Jason Campbell leads Oakland downfield and into the end zone against the 49ers.
Don't believe Greg Minuski is going to be happy with this first drive. Here you're just going to see a simple off-tackle ISO right up the gut. And Coach Minuski was saying how he was happy with his defense, that they're ready, that he's not concerned about it. But what happened on his opening drive with the blown coverages and the wide open coverage on the back end, I don't believe that's really going to make him happy. And these guys may have just bought themselves some extra time in the game tonight.
Place down. Janikowski kick is good. And with 9:37 left to go in the first quarter, it's the Raiders who strike first in the Battle of the Bay. Well, it's a pretty impressive drive. 9 plays, 81 yards, 5 minutes, 23 seconds. Hugh Jackson, new offensive coordinator for the Raiders, has to be very pleased for the 2nd straight week that Campbell has led his team downfield. 4 of 4, 67 yards. And Hugh Jackson, a lot has been said about the new Raider offensive coordinator. So far, so good.
Hugh Jackson has a reputation of getting the best out of his players. He's done it around the league. Did it with Chad Johnson and Hugh Manzada with Cincinnati. He did it with Joe Flacco with the Baltimore Ravens. So this guy definitely gets the best out of his player, and Jason Campbell is playing well.
Guillory takes the football inside the 5, and he's down but just across the 15-yard line by a host of Raiders. So Hiram Eugene brings him down. It'll be Alex Smith when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Alex Smith engineered a very smooth 12-play, 70-yard opening drive, culminating with a 4-yard Anthony Dixon touchdown run against Minnesota last week. And he had lost radio communication, in fact, during that opening series. And 49ers have a drip they call the ownership drill that they do during practice, where Smith calls his own plays, and he thought that's one of the reasons the drive was so effective. And the quick handoff, Moran Norris Rare carry for the 49er fullback. Gets a couple of yards. Xfinity starting lineups for the 49ers. Frank Gore making his Niner preseason debut, but could be a series, maybe two, and maybe depending on how the offense looks. David Boss's play at center as he's the coach's concern over the injury to the starter, Eric Heitman. And there's been a couple of players who have benefited, and the Niners as a team have benefited because the depth looks better. Boss, of course, with Eugene Francois is another one. Delaney Walker is the man in motion. Quick pass, and it's complete. Finding the tight end. And he's taken down by Rolando McClain.
Alex Smith.
And McClain, of course, the Raider rookie linebacker, #1 draft pick.
He's a guy who's accustomed to being on the field, and he will be the leader of that defense in just a little amount of time. He was on the #1 defense in college, and he made every call for that defense in a pro-style defense from the time he was a freshman until he graduated there. So I expect him to pick up the game at this level extremely well in a short time.
Only 32, but the 49ers line up 3 receivers. And Smith has time, and he throws. It's complete for the first down. Josh Morgan makes the catch at the 30-yard line. Rolando McClain makes the stop for the Raiders. So Josh Morgan with his first reception.
Well, this one, if you look right outside in this area here, this play was made simply because the offensive line did a great job. Anthony Davis is learning how to not lunge as much. He didn't lunge on this play. He was able to pass off the line stunt. That gave Alex the extra bit of time to find Josh Morgan open for the first down in the middle of the field. That's what he has to do. He can't always try to maul the guy. He has to learn to play high, use the center, drop the center of gravity, and protect his quarterback.
Josh Morgan in motion, first down. They give us to Gore. Gore, a big hole over the middle, across the 40, still going. The 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, and pushed out of bounds on a touchdown-saving tackle by Tyvon Branch.
This is what Frank Gore does. This is what he gives you. David Boss's face lit up when he was talking about Frank Gore and how every lineman would love to have a guy like this running behind him. Frank sees holes, and he sees things that other guys don't see. He runs with this blind faith that is going to open up, and that's what he's capable of doing. You see the power. Frank is not the guy that's going to run for 90 yards most of the time, but he can give you 7, 8, and then he can always knock out the 30, 40. This guy right here is solid. Everyone knows it, and that's why, as you said, Dennis, earlier, he's the guy that drives the car for the 49ers.
49-yard gain, ball right on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Now he's responding after the Raiders' touchdown opening drive. And they give us to Gore again, another big hole. Gore all the way down to the 11-yard line. Huff came up from the safety position to make the stop. Gore close to another first down.
This right here was an athletic play by the tackle, the rookie tackle, Anthony Davis. He had an OT play where he pulled around from his right tackle position and trap blocked on the defensive tackle. That's how that hole was just opened up. You're going to see Davis pull around. Sorry there, he pulled around. He's right here in the hole, and Davis was able to make that block on Trevor Scott, and that's what freed up Frank Gore on that one.
Branch
excellent job.
Branch also on the tackle. This time Gore fumbles the football. He's able to jump back on it at the 14-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down. Now fisticuffs. Tommy Kelly getting into it with the 49ers. Charles Rochelle. Would you expect anything less?
Battle of the Bay.
Yeah, let's check out the Farmers Red Zone statistics and the Niners this preseason. There are the numbers, and 8 possessions and 4 touchdowns, and in a situation where they can change those numbers for the better. And the 49ers are going to call a timeout. So on 3rd and 4 with 5:40 left to go. Alex Smith wants to take it out. There's a timeout on the field. Raiders with the touchdown opening drive. The 49ers hope to respond. After the Raiders opening drive for a touchdown, the 49ers 6 plays, 62 yards, but they have a 3rd and 4 situation. The ball's at the 14-yard line. Josh Morgan, Dominic Ziegler, and Ted Ginn are the receivers for San Francisco. Gore in the backfield. And now that was Delaney Walker, who I think is going to be called for the flag.
Dennis, Believe it or not, in this situation, it's not that big a deal. The offense would actually like to have more room to work down here. You know, you get into the red zone, they can't run their full gamut of plays, so a little distance down here really doesn't hurt the offense in this situation.
Spoken like a true former 49er.
You say that as though I don't know football, man.
So now it is 3rd down and 9. High snap from Boss. Smith now flushed out. Lamar Houston is the man who put on the pressure, intended for Delaney Walker, incomplete. And looked like Mike Mitchell over there on the coverage for the Raiders.
Anthony Davis is going to get a bull rush right here, and he's trying to do the right thing, and he's learning not to lunge, but he has to sit and get his center of gravity there, and he wasn't able to latch on, and that allowed the pressure to get outside of him, and Alex wasn't able to do what he wanted to do, but he will learn in time. But right there, that's just a better job by the Raiders defense pressuring the quarterback on that play.
Andy Lee, the holder, Nedney the kicker from 37 yards out. The kick is up, and it is no good. So Joe Nedney with a rare miss from that territory. The 49er kicker was 17 of 21 last year, but no good this time. Niners come away empty. Well, every time you turned around last year, you saw Justin Smith in a quarterback's face, and the 49ers defense is one of the best in the NFL, but as Smith knows, it's always under the radar.
It's not a story. So the offense, the first-round picks, and all the talent that they do have, that's kind of more of a story, and, that's fine. They go out, score points, and, like they always say, defense wins championships. So, hopefully keep talking about those guys, and they're doing well, and they're scoring, and we just kind of stay back in the shadows and keep doing what we need to do.
Darren McFadden now in the game for the Raiders, as they're going to do a lot of that, where they're going to switch off Michael Bush with Darren McFadden. And there is Smith's numbers last year, and he had a team-high 78 quarterback pressures and 52 quarterback hits. So he had 6.5 sacks, or 6 sacks, but the quarterback certainly felt his pressure much more frequently. But McFadden, of course, hasn't really lived up to draft expectations when the Oakland Raiders took him 4th overall, but he's been battling injuries throughout his career. And look at Patrick Willis get into the backfield and throw down McFadden for the loss at the 26-yard line.
This is what Patrick does. He studies an offense, and he reads so well, and he's able to just see things the moment that they happen, and here he goes. He's going to come right down off of that line block down, and he's just going to feel right in the hole. That right there is designed for him to have that one-on-one tackle and make it, and Patrick is going to make that tackle all the time. A lot of linebackers will miss that. Patrick won't.
So 3rd and almost 10 for the Raiders. He's turning on the blitz, and it's stopped over the middle. And that would have been 1st down territory for the Raiders tight end. Nate Clements in on the coverage, but Brandon Myers had the football and dropped it. Would have been a 1st down, so the Niner defense holds.
The Niners defense held on that play, but once again, that was another opportunity for the Oakland Raiders to get a 1st down and possibly move the chains right there. The Niners have to tighten up their secondary coverage right now. There are just too many holes in it.
Jalen Leckler doing the punting. Phillip Adams deep to receive for the 49ers. He'll get a long look today and takes the ball just outside the 20-yard line. Across the 30 and to about the 31-yard line. Taken down by by the Raiders, and there's a timeout. We'll be back.
Welcome back. 7-0 Raiders in the first quarter. 49ers wide receiver Michael Crabtree makes a living using his hands, but it's his feet everybody's going to notice, in particular these. Now, Crabtree is a Jordan athlete, and of course he designs his own shoes for the Jordan brand. He told me that this shoe took him about 5 minutes to design, but it's not the first time he's designed shoes. As a child, he used to paint his sneakers, but these shoes will be available someday for purchase, so you too can be like Mike Crabtree, that is.
All right, Kim, Anthony Dixon is now in the game at running back for the 49ers, so Frank Gore's debut is over. And Smith deep downfield, good coverage. Niners were looking for Delaney Walker over there, but he was covered well by Tyvon Branch.
That's a matchup that the Niners would like to get because you put Delaney Walker out here and he has the speed. You see number 46, Delaney Walker, going up the sideline here in just a second. But Tyvon Branch did an excellent job of finishing high on the ball. Actually, it hit him in the chest, but he went up big for it and tried to get that one. Went straight through his hands, but that was excellent body positioning. Looked back at the perfect time, and that's nothing that they can do about that play. Just a good defensive play.
Ginn and Morgan are the receivers for the 49ers on 2nd down and 10. It's the rookie Anthony Dixon with his first carry, and he comes up short. Dixon has had an excellent preseason so far, as he got a lot of playing time. So Glenn Coffey with the surprising retirement. You get an idea of what the rookie 6th-round pick out of Mississippi State has done. 233 pounds of power. And Jimmy Ray put it best when he said he's a bull in a china shop with unlimited potential. And then, of course, the 49ers signed Brian Westbrook to replace the departed Coffey because they wanted a veteran in the backfield. But Dixon does have the potential. 3rd down and long. Smith on the blitz and taken down immediately. Boy, Huff put the number on Ginn, and he didn't have a chance yet. Or Dominic Ziegler.
Battle of the Bay. Alex put it in here, and this is one where you understand that you're going to take a lick on this one. Defensive backs are taught to tackle the slant, and Huff did an excellent job right there. They want an offense to know that you can throw that route, you'll catch it for 7, but let's see if you'll hold on to it time and time again. And that time, Huff won.
Andy Lee bunts it to Johnny Lee Higgins. He'll take the ball to 17. And does not get away from Britt Miller. The 49er backup tight end makes the stop at the 19-yard line. Bruce Davis. 49er tickets are on sale now. Call 415-GO-49ers or visit 49ers.com for 2010 season tickets. Packages include the Monday night opener versus the Super Bowl champion Saints, plus the Sunday night matchup against the Eagles and the Bay Area showdown with the Raiders. Gamble remains at quarterback for the Raiders. Murphy is the receiver in motion. McFadden is the running back. Look out, it's Patrick Willis. Hello. And McFadden with a loss of a few.
You're going to have a hard time blocking Patrick Willis when he's just reading and reacting. But if you give him a run stunt and you don't put a hand on him, he can kill someone. And that's exactly what happened on this play. And McFadden is lucky that he didn't fumble on this one.
That's 2 tackles for loss for Willis into the Raider backfield. It'll be loss of 3. 2nd down and 13. 2:17. Clock moving in the first quarter. Raiders scored on their opening possession, and they lead the 49ers 7-0. Good time, and he throws, and it's McFadden. And this is where he's dangerous. Good receiver, game breaker, gets across the 40, 1st down to about the 41-yard line, and that is where they like to use McFadden. They want to get him in the open field, and that's where the big difference really occurs between McFadden and Bush. There's a flag back at the 15-yard line, though. This could all come back. We don't see Lewis Murphy in that picture.
Well, all of this happened for nothing. And McFadden's doing his job on this play, and there wasn't a lot of pressure, and he just didn't have to block anyone on that one. He got out, and as you said, Dennis, he's dangerous in space like that, and they're going to try to use him more in that manner, and I think he'll be a much more effective player for them.
He had 499 yards rushing in his rookie season, Eric. That's a 4.4 average last year, 357 yards, a 3.4 average with 5 fumbles. 2nd down and 15. McFadden tripped up, gets across the 10-yard line, but nice job defensively by the 49ers. It'll bring up 3rd and long. McFadden in his first year. He showed the potential, the explosiveness, but then he suffered a turf toe injury, which really lasted with him throughout the rest of his rookie season. So 3rd down for Campbell. He's got 3 receivers. Once again, decent time, and it's McFadden. McFadden across the 20, 25 to the 27-yard line. And Nate Clements in there on the tackle along with Patrick Willis. It won't be enough. Comes up shy of the 1st down. It'll bring up 4th down.
Again, Campbell is running the offense effectively. He's doing what the Raiders want done right here. And the Niners also got what they wanted. They took away the deep ball on that one, made him dump it off, and they were able to rally to the ball and get off the field. 4th down, now they have to punt.
Phillip Adams. That's typical for a electric performance at the 13-yard line. Campbell's got a little bit of room. It gets across the gets across the 30, about the 35-yard line. So Phillip Adams, again, the rookie quarterback, 7th rounder, is going to get a long look tonight.
Adams is the guy that I like. I like him a lot. I sort of relate to this guy coming from a small school, being born in the South, raised in an area where football is a religion. It means a lot to him, and it's good to see him get opportunities to play. He's been a little hurt, but now he's out on the field. That hamstring's getting better. He's nursing that, trying to get healthy, but he makes plays when he's out there, and that's how you get the coach's attention, and that's why they're giving him a long look tonight.
And he's overcoming a lot of tragedy. We'll have a halftime story on the 49er rookie cornerback coming up. So Alex Smith remains the quarterback. The 49ers trying to answer after the Raiders scored on their opening possession, and that's where we're at right now. Boy, the 61-yard punt really drove him back, and it's complete immediately, and it's Walker, and look at him go across the 40, 30, the 20, and all the way inside the 10-yard line. And there's another flag. Nnamdi Asamoah saves the Delaney Walker touchdown.
So regardless of what happens on this play with the flag, that's why you want Delaney Walker split out. When you look at the weapons that the 49ers have at the receiver position, they create matchup nightmares for the opposition. And Delaney Walker was covered on that previous play, but you continue to go to him because if you're going to match a safety up with this guy, he creates a size problem. If you put a linebacker out there, you have no way of getting it done. And right there, that was just a bad block. If you can read a guy's number, just don't block him. Don't put your hands on his back. And that's just that simple. But this guy right here creates huge matchup problems. And that's going to be a very, very effective for the Niners this year.
Well, you think about the weapons that the 49ers really have at their disposal this year compared to the last few years. They're everywhere. Frank Gore, of course, Vernon Davis, and Michael Crabtree, and Josh Morgan, and Delaney Walker. And there's a lot that the 49er offenses are going to be able to throw at opposing defenses, and you're seeing a little bit of that right now. However, at the end of one quarter in the Battle of the Bay, it's the Raiders who score first. The 49ers have the football. We'll see what they can do in the second quarter. The Oakland Coliseum. Alex Smith, 49er quarterback, averaged 214 yards passing, threw for 18 touchdowns in 11 games after taking over for Sean Hill. At times, Smith said he put a little bit too much pressure on himself.
So often early on in my career, I pushed the envelope. I was the one trying to force things, trying to make plays, trying to do too much. And more often than not, you're going to get yourself in trouble as a quarterback in this league. Guys are just too good. Instead of really letting it come to me, letting the plays come to me over the course of a game.
Moran Norris has the first down for the 49ers. Rolando McClain pushed him out of bounds, but there's another flag. Well, that's Lamar Houston, the San Francisco native, who was the 44th overall pick in the draft. The Raiders really like him, but he's offside here.
They're trying to get an early jump on it and trying to slow the offense down. When you get a couple of big plays like that, you want to do something. But Alex is taking what they're giving him this offseason. He's not trying to force too much, and he's making the right calls.
So they get the first down. Dixon, a nice hole off right guard, and he drags tacklers with him. Get an example of the kind of power runner he is. Michael Huff is the man who finally brings him down.
And Dennis, just getting back to Alex and him seeing it, and you talking about how they have the situations in practice where he has to call his own plays, the ownership period. That is helping him mature. Alex is a good quarterback, and he needs to try and be that. Doesn't have to be great. He's not a great quarterback, and he doesn't have to try to make great plays. And early on, he was trying to be great. He has weapons around him. He needs to utilize those, and I think it would help him be much more effective for the 49ers.
Okay, they're going to measure to see it if they got the first down. Very close. Well, Alex was 5-5 as a starter, but one of the criticisms was that only one of those wins came against a team with a winning record. San Francisco's defense shut out Arizona in that win. He beat the Rams, the Bears, the Jags, and the Lions.
Well, what I believe Alex is ready to do, and it seems as though that he's not trying to convince himself of this fact, I believe Alex is ready to win a game for the 49ers. Since he's taken over as the starter, he's yet to be the reason why the 49ers have won a game. And I believe he's ready to take that step. He has the maturity. He has an understanding of what it is he's doing. And I believe he has the confidence of the guys in the huddle with him. And that right there in itself will give him an opportunity to utilize the weapons that he has and take the next step.
Second down, less than a yard. Moran Norris is the fullback. Dixon is the tailback. And it's Moran Norris. Boy, he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, tried to lean forward. Trevor Scott in the tackle for San Francisco, for the Raiders.
Offensive linemen of the 49ers are just too high. Upati has to learn to play lower, and Shiloh Rochelle was doing the same thing. They simply didn't get enough surge right there, and they were pushed back. If you don't win at the point of attack in a short yardage situation like that, you stand no chance, and that's what happened.
So that'll be 3rd and 1 once again. Again is the lone receiver to the left. And he's in motion. And it's Dixon. And Dixon is not going to get it. So the 49ers on 2nd and 1 and 3rd and 1 come up short. So that'll bring up a 4th down situation. He actually lost a yard. Kelly making the stop for the Raiders.
You have the same situation. This line of scrimmage either has the bow this way or it has the bow in that opposite direction. And that's who's going to win this play. And on this particular play, it was pushed back, and the Raiders won the point of attack. And if you do that in a short yardage situation, it's over.
So it's preseason, and the 49ers will go for it. Fake to Dixon, and Ginn was covered by Huff, and Osomwall might get called for a penalty. We had man-to-man coverage over there, and Osomwall was within 5 yards.
Well, you look at the top of the screen, number 21, Osomwall is one of the best corners in the league without question. First-team All-Pro guy. But what happened on this play, it's not that he didn't get a good jam on him. You're talking about the 5-yard rule. What it is once you make contact once, if you release from a guy, you can't make contact again. And it doesn't matter if you're within 5 yards or not. That's what causes the penalty on that play.
And that gives the 49ers a first down.
They're trying to make the rules so that the wide receivers can get off the line of scrimmage. Whatever they can do to get scoring.
Josh Morgan again. The receivers for the 49ers. Morgan in motion, and the give is to Dixon. And Dixon gets back to the 10. Tyvon Branch came up from the safety position, made a nice tackle along with Rolando McClain.
But Dennis, Dixon told us that he needs to slow down, that he needs to be a little more patient, and he needs to run with that blind faith that a line's going to be there. He said he's always moving, and he's always trying to get himself in position to get outside and make one more play. And that was a situation in which he needs to trust his offensive lineman, run downhill, and try to wait for that crease to happen.
11:46, clock ticking away here in the Battle of the Bay. The Raiders leading the 49ers 7-0. Oakland scoring on the first possession. The 49ers now threatening. Delaney Walker in the game. And Smith has time, and it is incomplete. Bynum, who was the intended receiver, and he was covered over there by Stanford Routt, who is trying to take the cornerback position away from Chris Johnson.
Nice protection, good read by the quarterback, and he put the ball in the position to where Bynum could catch it, but that was just an excellent defensive play by Routt. This is the Battle of the Bay. It's a preseason game. You're getting a lot more in this game right here because these guys will face one another, and they want to leave a memory in the guys' mind this regular season that, hey, I'm ready and I can do some things to you that you can't handle, and you see it out here on the field tonight.
Niners 1 for 4 in third down conversions, 3rd and 10. Smith, the pass, has time, throws over the middle, and it's dropped right in the hands of Nate Bynum. Trevor Scott was on the coverage, but that is all on the 49ers tight end.
Is that why they call him a blocking tight end?
Yeah. That's what he was in college, and that may be a little evidence. The rookie tight end 6th-round pick out of Pitt.
Well, he just got a simple wide drag on this, wide cross, and it hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands. I don't know what else Alex could have done on that play, and they were really just hoping that they could get that one completed and he can turn it upfield, but they weren't able to get it done.
27-yard kick by Joe Nedney. It's through the uprights, so after missing the first, he's able to convert on the second. So despite the drop, the 49ers are on the board with 11:23 left to go in the second quarter. They trail 7-3. .28 yards, the official yardage on the field goal for the 49ers, who make it a 7-3 football game as they'll get ready to kick off. Yamon Figures will come in to receive the kick for Oakland. Yamon, the 4th-year Kansas State, former 3rd-round pick by Baltimore in 2007. That stopped in Detroit and Tampa. He's one of those players who need to have a big game tonight. There's a lot of guys like that because the first cut is coming up. And as Singletary said, there's a few guys who he thinks who will make a difference, make a play tonight. It'll make that football team. Figures trying to make a play in his own behalf to stay on the Raiders drive to get to the 25-yard line. And Carl Pema makes the stop for the 49ers. Timeout, 7-3 Raiders.
The defensive stop of the game, presented by Barracuda.
Barracuda defensive stop of the game. Patrick Willis, 2 tackles for loss. I think he went in untouched on both on Darren McFadden, who must be wondering, is anybody going to pick up number 52? Of course, Willis in May rewarded with a 5-year, $50 million contract extension. He remains in the game at linebacker for the 49ers. Jason Campbell remains in the game at quarterback for the Raiders. The fake to Bush, look out, it's Patrick Willis again.
Well, Dennis, if there is a code during the preseason, nobody told Patrick Willis about it. Here, a delayed blitz, a middle line stunt right there, and Patrick was able to come inside, and you're going to see this guy just come around. He's going to do a little delay and then loop inside, and right now, no one's blocking Patrick, and that's exactly what's going to happen if you do not block Patrick Willis. He's playing as though it's the end of the season. He's ready to go, always ready to go, and he is the heartbeat of the San Francisco 49ers team.
That's a loss of 11 yards back to the 15-yard line. Campbell now on the screen, and it's complete. Reese, about the 25-yard line. And Marcel Reese with
number 45, Marcel Reese.
his second touch of the football today. Cable likes his pass catching abilities. That's his second reception.
11 yards.
40-yard gain after a short reception last week. The question for Reese has been his blocking, but Patrick Willis is rolling up the stats in the Battle of the Bay today.
And he's such a smart player, and he knows how to scheme a team and get in and make plays.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Raiders. Was the intended receiver thrown slightly behind the Raiders' second-year receiver, who was really a pleasant surprise with 34 receptions, 521 yards, and 4 touchdowns in his rookie season. But he clearly was the better pick besides Darius Hayward-Bay. Well, the Niners should get good field position, but with Shane Leckler, you really never know. I mean, you could make a case that Leckler has been the MVP for several years for the Raiders, outside of Nnamdi Asomugha. And case in point, Adams takes the ball at the 18. He's got a big lane. Look out. If you got to make one play to make a football team, Adams may have just made it. Touchdown, 49ers.
Dennis, I told you, this kid has gotten the coach's eyes because he makes plays, and they wanted to give him an opportunity to see what he can do because he missed some time early on because of that hamstring, but he competes. And when you give him an opportunity to make plays, he shows that it matters. Right there, he trusted his guys and was able to get it done. Right here, this is just him making an individual play after his guys put him in position to make the run. And look at who's out in front blocking for him, Anthony Dixon. I mean, these young guys are trying to do their part to make this ball club, and that's what the Niners would like to see.
Well, just one thing that Shane Leckler could be guilty of, Eric, is out-kicking the coverage, and he did on that one, and Adams takes advantage, no doubt about it. The 49ers now in front with Joe Nedney, putting the Niners up now by 3 with 9:41. San Francisco has scored 10 unanswered points on the electrifying 83-yard return by Phillip Adams. Well, there's Johnny on the spot. Phillip Adams, the rookie cornerback, 7th-round pick, had a strong game last week, and he's a special teams player as well, which, of course, is going to bode well for your chances. And with the injury to Kyle Williams, Phillip Adams getting a good look at punt returning tonight. You just got an example of what he can do. And, you know, Eric, I think he probably was going to make the team anyway, but I think he just cemented that.
Oh, well, you know what? He has given himself a much stronger foundation to stand on, and that's what you want to see with the young guys. You want to see them come in and produce in game situations, and he is definitely doing that.
Brock Cartwright picks the ball off the turf and is taken down before he gets to the 20-yard line. Not all is good news, however. Kim Coyle has an injury update. Kim.
Yeah, Dennis, you see the ice there on Joe Staley. He has a right knee sprain. He is out. Barry Sims will get the call and take his place. Back to you.
Now Joe Staley, really the rock on that left side of the line, and with the running backs trying to help out on blitzes with Anthony Davis over on the right-hand side of the line. Hopefully it's not a serious injury for Joe Staley. Campbell remains at quarterback for the Raiders. Scored on their opening possession, but haven't done much since. Bush hit immediately. Manny Lawson was not blocked by Miller, and he's able to get in there and make the stop on the Raider running back.
Great job setting the edge, and the 49ers defense does a very, very good job. You're going to see 99 Manny Lawson here. He's just going to set a strong edge right there, and he's going to just knife inside and make the play. Their defense is really predicated on getting pushed up the middle, and their outside linebackers have to set the edge on the run. Manny did a very stout job on that last play.
He had 2 tackles for loss last week against Minnesota. No gain there. 2nd down and 10. The play fake. Campbell, look out from behind. Down he goes. Travis LeBoy, who was spectacular last week in his 6th year out of Hawaii, missed last year with a foot injury, signed with the Niners in April, and he has a nose for the quarterbacks. 4 sacks last year, 23 sacks in his first 5 years, and this is what the 49ers like about him.
54 Travis LeBoy is going to be, he is a great pickup for the 49ers. He knows how to rush the passer. They brought him in. You know, he had the injury last year. He's healthy. The training staff said that, you know, he's rehabbed very well. They were just holding him out earlier, but now he's back. He's fresh, and he's able to get pressure on the quarterback. And this is something that you don't want to see in the preseason or any time. You don't want to see someone get injured right here, but he's definitely just trying to do his job.
Jason Campbell, the big man acquisition by the Raiders in the offseason, still lying on his back.
And, you know, clean hit. LeBoy just came and just put his body completely on him. But you saw the whiplash effect when he took the strike at the very end of the hit right there. And that's really, I believe, what got him. Those are the type jars that not only hurt the neck, but you can get concussions from when you get those blind hits in your head jars in that manner. So that will open the door for Bruce Gradkowski to come in. And
If you look at the Raiders' situation at quarterback last year, Russell started in the games, the 9 games that Russell started, the Raiders passed for only 136 yards. We'll get another look at the injury to Campbell.
You said right at impact, you saw his head jar back, and they may have even banged heads on that play inadvertently. And those are, like I said, those are the type collisions, and football is a collision sport. So those are the type of when you can get the neck injuries, you can get the concussions, and right now they're testing them all out, trying to test his strength. So it doesn't seem as though that there is a concussion. It seems more a neck injury.
I was mentioning how ineffective the Raiders were with Russell, the quarterback. The Raiders passed for only 136 yards a game with just 2 touchdown passes. But in the final 7, after benching Russell, Oakland had 8 touchdown passes, an average of 235 passing yards. And that was really with Bruce Gradkowski, who engineered a couple thrilling come-from-behind games, especially against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The problem with Gradkowski, of course, is he has trouble staying healthy. Knee injuries forced him out in December. Then he tore a pectoral muscle while weightlifting. But it was the epic win over Pittsburgh that really ingratiated him, I think, with Raider fans last year. In fact, yeah, here is the game. And there's 11 seconds left when he throws it to Lewis Murphy. And, you know, anybody, Eric, who knows the history between these two organizations knows how big that victory was for the Raiders.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And well, you know what I like about Gradkowski is that he is a very confident player, extremely confident player, and I believe his teammates believe in him. And he thinks that he can get it done, and you saw a major pickup in the offensive production when he hit the field last year.
Well, Campbell was 6 of 8 for 92 yards. And difficult to speculate on what the injury might be, but the fact that he's going off on a card, it doesn't seem to be a leg problem. There's been far too many concussions for football players lately, and it's something that everybody's going to keep an eye on here.
Well, it's good to see him just stand up on his own power and get into the card and call it a night. He's been playing extremely well for these guys. He's giving them what they need, stability at that quarterback position. And as I was saying at the top of this show here tonight, that he has weapons around him in which he can be successful for this team. He knows it's his last stop and last chance to be a starter, and he's giving them exactly what they are asking for, and you want to see him out there healthy.
So it's 3rd and 17. Gradkowski now at quarterback for the Raiders, and Gradkowski really got an opportunity last year. You remember Jeff Garcia was brought into camp, and everybody assumed that Garcia would be the backup to Jamarcus Russell, but Garcia was unhappy with the situation and asked the Raiders for his release, and Gradkowski got the opportunity, and he hands off to Bush. And Bush gets to the 15, about the 16-yard line. Reggie Smith makes the tackle, but it'll bring up 4th down.
Patrick Willis played off the block there, and if there was anything in his game that he needed to work on, it was shedding interior alignment and blocks, because he's not the largest inside linebacker. A lot of his game is speed, and he did an excellent job there of just putting his hands out, extending, shedding, and making that tackle.
Leckler standing at his 2-yard line under pressure there, gets the kickoff, and Adams will let this one drop. And John Kondo has the ball at the 40-yard line, so the 49ers will have good field position with 8:07 left to go in the second quarter at the Coliseum. 49ers lead 10-7. Eric, I'm going to put this in the "what have you done for me lately" category for Phillip Adams.
Dennis, you're right. The play before, you score a touchdown, and now it's a simple thing, fair catch. You have to catch the ball, or you got to screen for your guys to get away. And when you don't do that, he'll understand this is the world of a corner. You're the hero or the GOAT. Can't get too high on the high or too low on the lows. Play the next play.
Geez, Coach, I just scored you a touchdown. What's all this about? Smith remains at quarterback. Flushed out, throws downfield, and it's caught by Ted Ginn.
but he is doing a much better job of extending plays and not running into pressure, taking the lanes that they're giving him and trying to make something happen.
Ginn and Morgan, the receivers. Delaney Walker, who's had a big catch today, is the man in motion, the fake. And the throw to Moran Norris out in the backfield. Norris stripped up on a nice tackle by Jeremy Ware, short of the first down, but Moran Norris getting a little action out of the backfield.
Wow. I love seeing fullbacks get their hand on the ball because he's all ready to hit someone and say, look what I found. Yeah. He's having a hard time keeping his balance, and he's not really ready to make a move out there, and he's just flying through the air.
Jeremy Ware is the 7th-round pick out of Michigan State. He's a hard hitter, too. Moran Norris, he's got a good idea.
Moran saying, give me a linebacker. Stand him, get him square so I can shorten his neck. Don't put me out here in this space and make me look bad.
3rd down and 1. I don't think Dixon knew the play, and Alex is going to have to call a timeout. Dixon was supposed to be lined up as a receiver on the right and was still in the backfield, forcing Smith to call time. You're not going to ingratiate yourself with the head coach like that. Right. Okay, let's go down. We'll get an update on the Raiders quarterback, Jason Campbell. Kim?
Yeah, all right, thanks, Dennis. Raider officials tell me that Jason Campbell has a stinger. They've taken him back to the locker room to evaluate his neck area. Back up to you.
All right, Kim, thanks for the update. Third down and 7 for the 49ers. Ginn and Morgan are the receivers. Delaney Walker and Dominic Ziegler also in there. They come on a blitz. Rolando McClain flushes Hill out, and Smith out. He gets rid of the football. And the Dominic Ziegler for the first down at midfield. Walter McFadden was all over the receiver, but a nice job by both quarterback and receiver. They get the first down.
Excellent job extending the play by the quarterback. I just touched on that, but this is what Dominic Ziegler hasn't done in the past. He hasn't competed like this game day, and he's been doing a great job of making plays at the practice field, at the facilities in Santa Clara, but right there, that's the type of play that you have to make. It wasn't a perfect throw, but he was able to help his quarterback out, snatch one out of the air with his hands, and move the change.
Start by the 49ers.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Barry Sims is in for the injured Joe Staley. But it might have been Upati there.
Well, they singled out Upati, but they could have just picked a
taken
number.
Everybody on the left side of the line. Eric, what's your assessment of the progress of the line? The 2 rookies, of course, and Boss taking over for center for Heitman.
Well, Boss is happy playing center. He even said that he likes playing that position and that he's not worried about what's going to happen when Eric Heitman comes back. He enjoys being there, making the calls, and Upati is playing well next to him.
Josh Morgan makes the catch near the 45-yard line. Rolando McClain and Tyvon Branch on the tackle for the Raiders.
And from a 49er standpoint, they're in a good position because Eric Heitman is going to get healthy. He is going to come back, and these guys know that when that happens, they just have another good football player to put into that line. They're gelling extremely well right now.
Second down and 6. Ball just outside the 45-yard line. Morgan comes around, and they hand the ball off, and about the 20-yard line. Michael Huff makes the stop.
Westbrook is getting his first touches as a 49er, and if you look at this guy and what he's done throughout his career, he's really that 49er tight back of old, where he becomes a run threat, but he's another matchup problem because he has had more receiving yards and catches during his career, during his time in the league, than any other running back in the league, and defenses and defensive coordinators know that, so he does cause them problems.
Third down and 6. Niners converting on the last third down. And it's the draw. Westbrook straight up the middle. He's got the first down and more, all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And you know, when they signed Westbrook, and you figure if you're going to lose Glenn Coffey, well, probably got a better weapon in Westbrook.
Well, if he can stay healthy, absolutely. On that play, McClain, the rookie for the Raiders, was trying to come outside. Couldn't decide if he wanted to go inside or outside. Had a read blitz on that play. He went outside, and they ran the draw play, and Westbrook was able to do what he does, you know, get huge chunks when you give him the space like that, and that's what makes him so dangerous with the ball in his hands. You spread out a defense, and now he's able to make plays in the middle.
Gain of 17. 49ers inside the 30-yard line. Bynum tight end motion, they throw it, complete again. With a reception near the nice spin move inside the 20-yard line. Jeremy Ware, after that nice hit, able to. There's Westbrook, and you know what can you say about the kind of player he was in Philadelphia, the Pro Bowl football player, and the fact is that they said that they decided to go young, and that's why Westbrook is out of a job. So the 49ers get a big acquisition when Glenn Coffey decided to retire, and Westbrook showing that tonight. Second down and 2. Dixon now back in the game. And it's Dixon with the football. And Dixon will get very close. I believe he's got
Number 33, Anthony Dixon.
John Henderson made the tackle for the Raiders. Henderson, another one of those offseason acquisitions for the Raiders. What the Raiders have to do is figure out a way to stop the run, because they haven't done it really since their Super Bowl season in 2002. Cumulative years of worst run defense in the NFL. Of course, Rolando McClain came in, John Henderson, Tommy Kelly came in 35 pounds lighter on the defensive line. The Niners do get the first down. And we hit the 2-minute warning at the Coliseum. So the 49ers doing a nice job converting on third downs, threatening again, and they lead 10-7. Well, Brian Westbrook had a few options, obviously, but here's why he decided to come to the 49ers.
Well, he said this team is going in the right direction. We still have a long way to go. We're still going to continue to fight, to continue to get better, but have confidence and faith in him that he'll continue to push his team to be the best team that they can, and we will win games here. We have the talent to do it.
Yeah, once Mike Singletary having a big impact on why Westbrook decided to come to the 49ers. And what a couple of weapons. I mean, Gore and Westbrook in the backfield. And this is Dixon. Dixon's not a bad one either.
No, he's not a bad one to start teaching how to play the game at this level. Not at all.
Tyvon Branch and Rolando McClain make the tackle on the Niner rookie running back. 10th play of the drive. Started at 8:07. Of the second quarter on the San Francisco 40-yard line. And the Niners are 2 for 2 on this drive, and prior to that they were 1 for 5. I was curious to see after the Campbell injury as to whether Singletary was going to leave Alex Smith in the game, but this is an excellent drive for the 49ers quarterback. Smith flushed out, and he throws, and it's a touchdown, 49ers. Josh Morgan uncovered in the end zone. Smith flushed out of the pocket, finds the open receiver, and the Niners extend their lead in the Battle of the Bay.
And that touchdown right there was created by Barry Sims, number 65. Look outside at this offensive tackle and watch him finish on his block here. If not for this, if not for him finishing, his quarterback would have gotten hit in the back. He was able to extend the play on that one and find an open Josh Morgan down the field. That's what the offensive line has to do. If they protect Alex Smith, they give him an opportunity to be a good quarterback.
Place down, the kick is good, and the 49ers, after trailing 7-0, have scored 17 straight points. This on the 16-yard touchdown from Alex Smith to Josh Morgan. What a drive for the 49ers. I'm guessing that'll be it for Alex with 1:13 left to go in the first half, but a great drive by the 49er quarterback.
But you're seeing the confidence. You're seeing this guy try not to do too much. He said himself that he was trying to make the great play. He was trying to make the great throw. He was trying to do just a little extra. Now he's doing his job, making the correct reads. If it's not there, throw it away. If you do try to extend the play, throw the ball in a situation in a position to where only your player has an opportunity to make a play on it. He's getting smarter, and it's also good to see Josh Morgan, getting to the end zone. He's a young receiver. He's coming into his own. The wide receiver coach says that that's one of the reasons why he's still around here. He wants to see this guy get to the next level, and he believes that Josh can do it and get to that level and make big plays.
Well, it was just a couple of years ago. Remember the Niners, they'd bring in Ashley Lilly, didn't work. Johnny Morton, didn't work. Antonio Bryan, didn't work. Darrell Jackson, didn't work. And now it's working. Morgan, Crabtree, Vernon Davis, Gore, Westbrook. Ron Quigley takes the football, and he fumbles it, and it's recovered by the Raiders inside the 30-yard line. Yaman is going to need a game and a half, and that time he coughs it up. Terrell Brown forces the fumble, but the Raiders get it back.
How do you know when to raise it and when to put it on the ground? Because you can't hear a damn thing, can you?
It looked like he just simply dropped that
I don't think it was much Terrell as it was Yaman.
He just decided he was tired of carrying the ball on this play. It's very fortunate that the Niners didn't fall on top of this one.
So let's see what the Raiders decide to do. They've got 1:06 to work with. Gradkowski at quarterback. Hayward, Bay, and Murphy, the receivers, along with Johnny Lee Higgins. And this is Murphy. And Murphy needs to get out of bounds and trying to force his way out, and I don't think he's going to make it. And they finally stopped the clock. Sean Goldson and Carl Payma force him out of bounds, and here we go.
The Battle of the Bay. Neighborhood bragging rights, and you see one another again during the regular season.
And the only thing Gradkowski, you see that, the only thing he cared about was the first down. He's pointing the first down. Everybody else is fighting.
And Louis Murphy's trying to get out of bounds, and the Niners are trying to keep the clock going. It's a 2-minute drill here for both of these ball clubs. And once you get into the bottom of a pile, ladies and gentlemen, it's not nice down there at the bottom of NFL pile. Not nice at all.
The Raiders have all 3 timeouts, and they have 55 seconds with which to work. Get a look at Louis Murphy, and I think he was a surprise for the Raiders. And I think that production would have been better had they had a more effective quarterback for the duration of 16 games. But he can play. He's got good hands.
Very good hands. Came into camp last year, and you said it. He did surprise them and had himself in position. With the injuries, he took advantage of it. Got an opportunity to get on the field, get a lot more reps than he probably would have gotten, but he produced with them, and he did show them some things. And you're right, he has good hands, and with this new offense that Hugh Jackson has in place, I believe that he'll do well for them.
Ball on the 25-yard line. Gradkowski on the screen, and it's McFadden. And McFadden will just jump out of bounds. Forced out there by Carl Payman. 49 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Well, the Raiders' offseason objectives were to solve the quarterback situation, and Al Davis thinks they did that with Jason Campbell. In fact, he was comparing Jason Campbell to Jim Plunkett, who won 2 Super Bowls here after being cast off by the 49ers. And the other one was to stop the worst run defense in the league. And they believe that they have addressed both those issues, and hopefully Jason Campbell is okay after suffering a stinger, according to Kim Cora. 49ers come on the blitz, and they throw it, and it's complete. And it's Murphy, and Murphy's got all the room. Touchdown Raiders, a shocker for the 49er defense as Gradkowski hits Murphy in stride, and he jumps into the black hole with 40 seconds left in the second quarter.
Well, I've been talking about the matchup nightmares that the 49ers can create, and that's what you just saw the Raiders do right now. They found a way to single up a safety on Louis Murphy, and in the NFL, that's very, very difficult coverage. Number 30, Reggie Smith, has been doing a good job for the 49ers and making plays there, but You know, there's a reason why he's a safety and not a corner, and you don't want to put him in those man situations if possible. But right there, he was caught having to cover wide receiver. They saw it and took advantage of it.
Janikowski for the point after, and it's through it just like that. What a shocker. The Raiders on the 74-yard touchdown completion to Louis Murphy had closed the gap. We got a good game here at the Battle of the Bay.
Very good game. Very good game.
17-14, and well, you can obviously tell by the expression of Mike Singletary that the Niners had the Raiders pushed back, 40 seconds left, and they give up the big play.
Well, in those situations, you just can't do it. You know that teams are going to try and score. They're going to try to hit you with the big play. When you get in a zero blitz like that, you know you don't have any help. You just have to make the tackle. You can't get yourself in a situation to where in which your coverage gets behind you. Corners understand that a lot more than safeties, and when you match up a safety with a wide out in space like that, it's something that they're not accustomed to doing all the time, and you can have mistakes like that happen, and that's just something that he'll understand from now on. If he gets in that situation, let him catch it, make the tackle, don't let him get behind.
So 3 plays, 73 yards, 26 seconds, 74-yard throw from Gradkowski to Murphy. And Murphy's getting a knack for this at the end of the second quarter, but he's getting a knack for making clutch catches for the Raiders. Guillory is the man back deep to receive for the 49ers, takes it at the 1-yard line. Been a game of big plays, and that was a huge hit for the Raiders. Sam Williams with his second big hit on special teams for the Raiders.
Where you're going to see Smith drop up right, and what he had to do on this play, they're running rush zone, and Reggie Smith has to drop down, but he has to bang that number 2 receiver and run with him. You would say, okay, well, he's just dropping to the flat, but he has to make contact, turn and run with that guy in a blitz like that, because it turns into zero coverage if they run all vertical. That's one of the things that young safeties have to learn, is how to change when you're playing double coverage type defenses, and he wasn't able to get it done on that play.
And that was a delay of game.
False start.
Oh, false
Number
start.
62 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So it will still be first down for the 49ers, but they'll be content, obviously, to run out the clock now with 34 seconds left to go in the half.
The secondary coach is trying to explain it to him, because Reggie is there, and I know what he's thinking right now. He's saying, well, Coach, I had the flat. And yes, you do. But in a combo coverage, you have the flat unless this happens. And what happened on that particular play, this happened. And he had to run upfield and cover the guy, and now he knows.
Draw to Dickey. Dickey gets the 20-yard line. Past the original line of scrimmage, and the clock will continue to move. Tommy Kelly makes the stop for the Raiders, and Kelly mentioned lost 35 pounds. Hasn't really lived up to the Raiders' expectations. Got the big contract, and he looked himself in the mirror and asked a simple question: is it them or is it me? So he came in great shape, from 350 down to 315, and makes the tackle there. But the Raiders stun the 49ers with that touchdown to Louis Murphy. However, the San Francisco 49ers lead the Raiders 17-14 in the first half, and what turned out to be a game of big plays and very exciting first half of the Battle of the Bay. Let's go down to Kim Coyle with the coach. Go ahead, Kim. Okay, apparently we've lost the microphone. It was probably Singletary disconnected the cord. Okay. We are at halftime.
We'll go in and see how everybody's feeling, see who has the big.
We are at halftime of the Battle of the Bay, and the 49ers lead the Raiders 17-14.
Tonight's coverage of 49ers preseason football is brought to you in part by Barracuda, the leader in network security and data protection, and by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good thing. Here we go.
49ers leading the Raiders 17-14. We get set to start the third quarter of the Battle of the Bay, and Mike Singletary spoke with Kim Coyle just before going into the locker room. Kim, what did he have to say?
Well, Dennis, he said overall he was pleased with the first half. Obviously, as you can imagine, disappointed with the fact that they gave up that big play to Lewis Murphy with 40 seconds remaining. I asked him if the first team offense was going to come back out and play in the second half. He said he would have to evaluate the nicks and bruises and then make a decision from there. Back to you.
All right, Kim, thanks. And if you're the Raiders, the one thing you didn't want to see is giving up 14 carries, 93 yards for a 6.6 average. And, of course, Frank Gore had a 29-yard average with 2 carries for 58 yards. And the Raiders rushed for just 1.5 yards per carry. And Alex Smith, I thought it was a good half. And he was 9 of 15, 113 yards, and a rating of 105.7. Started off slow, and fortunately Singletary left him in. I was skeptical that he would following the Jason Campbell injury, but Smith finishes very strong.
Alex is doing exactly what he needs to do. Just play within himself, play within the offense, take what they're giving to him, and when an opportunity presents itself, extend the play and complete the pass. He's doing a strong job of that.
Janikowski kicking to Bobby Guillory. Drops the ball in the end zone. The 49ers will have it at the 20, and they'll have a new quarterback as David Carr is officially the backup to Alex Smith in his 9th year out of Fresno State. The first overall pick in the 2002 draft by Houston, and really took the backup role to Alex without playing a single down last week because Nate Davis underperformed. And he completed 9 of 11 passes for a touchdown against Indianapolis. Singletary likes his command of the offense. He likes his calm demeanor, and he thinks he is perfectly the perfect man for the backup job to Alex. So we're underway here in the third quarter of the Battle of the Bay. Carr at quarterback. 49ers have the ball at the 20-yard line. Dixon, the running back, gets off left tackle, picks up 2 or 3 yards. Take a look at Carr over his career, and again out of Fresno State, the #1 overall pick. A lot of pomp and circumstance when he was taken with that franchise, but never really lived up to the expectations that they had for him. And last couple of years, a backup to Eli Manning in New York, and Carr would tell you that he learned a lot from being in New York with the workout and the work ethic of the Manning family. Pick up of 4 yards by Dixon. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Ball to 24-yard line. Dixon in the backfield. Carr throws, and it's incomplete. Boy, Stanford route just put a hand in front of, again, the intended receiver. And they want Route to win that cornerback job opposite Nnamdi Asomugha. He's made a couple nice plays tonight.
A place like that would definitely give him an opportunity to make it here. He's going to get a little beaten on the play at the line of scrimmage, but it's not over there if you don't get your hands on a guy. And they're putting a hand on the body. It's not pass interference. He didn't do anything to impede the progress of the receiver. It's a nice, clean play, eyes on the ball, finishing, with the upfield hand and making a play. 3rd down and 6 for David Carr at quarterback for the 49ers. Skinner's in at receiver along with Josh Morgan, and it's the draw. And it's Dixon who gets away from one man, gets the first down across the 30 to the 33-yard line. It was Huff who finally brought him down, but a nice second effort by the 49er rookie running back. Well, right up the gut. This is why you draft Upati. To make holes like this, and this is why you draft for Dixon there. That's running with the blind faith that Coach Singletary was talking about. You stick your nose in, expecting it to open, allowing the linemen to do their job, and when you get a big 245-pound man running downhill, it's difficult to tackle him in those situations. Byam now lines up as a fullback in front of Dixon. Dixon 9 carries, 29 yards now for the 49ers. The fake, a lot of time. Carr throws downfield, and it is incomplete. Good coverage down there. Intended receiver was Ginn, and it was Walter McFadden who was on the coverage. McFadden is the rookie cornerback, 5th-round pick out of Auburn. Has had an outstanding camp. Had an opportunity to get an interception there with stride for stride with Ginn down the field on that play. And we're seeing some good defensive play down the field here by the Raiders in this series. Yeah, that's one he probably should have picked off. He could end up earning time in the nickel and dime slot. 2nd down and 10 for the 49ers. Ball at the 33-yard line. Josh Morgan at the top. Ziegler
at the bottom, and the 49ers jumped early.
False start, number 65 offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, that is Barry Sims, veteran 49er and the former Raider, 12th year out of Utah. He really did a good job last year, stepping in. Staley went down, and he ended up having to start 7 games and did an excellent job. So they back up 5 yards. It'll be second down and 15. Niners now go to 3 receivers on the left now. The tight end Nate Pyam in motion. And the pitch back to Dixon. And a nice job defensively that time. Sims not able to get the block on Matt Shaughnessy, who makes the stop. And there's a lot of people who do like the potential of this Dixon, the Niner rookie running back, and Frank Gore is one of them.
The big guys, you got to be able to get the 30 yards, and he's a 245-pound back, so he should have no problem with it. He can't. I told him that you can't be looking. Sometimes you just got to keep pounding, and something will really come.
Dixon's issue, like many rookie running backs, he's not that patient, and he doesn't really wait for the hole to develop, and that's what they've been trying to get. Carr just throws down. Smart play. Everybody was covered. Had problems with the taking the ball from center. Trevor Scott is the man who put the pressure on the 49er quarterback, and they'll have to punt.
Yeah, Dennis, when you were talking about Dixon earlier, that's it. He says the moment he gets the ball, even when he knows it's his time to run the ball, he gets a little antsy, and he's wants to go. And his motor gets going. He's moving his feet and tapping around and bouncing around when he gets the ball. And as Frank said, he just needs to stick his nose in there and go downhill sometimes.
Andy Lee punts the Yamon Figures. He takes the ball at the 34-yard line, gets by one man. At the 45, a flag comes down at the 47-yard line. Navarro Bowman, the linebacker for the 49ers on special teams, makes the stop.
And Jerome Boyd just decided to push a guy in the back on that
Illegal
play.
block in the back. Number 30, with the receiving team, 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
So 37-yard punt, but the Raiders are going to get pushed back after the penalty. 12:29 left to go in the third quarter.
Presented by Jack in the Box.
5 years ago, the 49ers made their first trip to L.A. and they faced the L.A. Raiders, and they made the L.A. Coliseum their home. The defense smothered Jim Plunkett, 9 sacks, 1 shy of the team record. Milt McCall scooped up a Plunkett fumble, got up with 28 yards for the only touchdown of his NFL career, and the Niners beat the Raiders 34-10. And it's Bush. The catch out of the backfield gets to the 39-yard line, right on the first down marker. Tyrell Briggs makes the tackle for the 49ers.
Dennis, these are the type plays that a quarterback has to make. Here, Gronkowski went through 3 reads and then finally got the ball to the open guy, and that's what you want your quarterback to do. You're going to see him looking left, and now he's going to go back to his third receiver, his back checking out of the backfield, and saying, let's get some positive yardage. We're able to get a first down. That's smart quarterback play.
So it was Takeo Spikes who gets credit, who made the tackle for San Francisco. And it's Bush. Bush gets across the line of scrimmage, puts up about 3 yards. It'll be second down. Michael Lewis makes the tackle for the 49ers. We got a 17-14 game. Turned out to be a beautiful night, actually, at the Coliseum, and a great football game in the Battle of the Bay. Dennis O'Donnell with Eric Davis, Kim Coyle down on the field. As the Niners' third preseason game, they'll finish up against San Diego. That game on CBS 5.
In October, unless there's days you're not available.
Gronkowski this time has time, and he throws, and it is dropped in and out of the hands of Murphy. Nate Clements was there on the coverage, but that's all on Murphy.
This here, you said it, Dennis, this is just simply on the receiver. He ran a route and got himself some clear space there to make a play and hit him right in the hands. And we've talked about Lewis Murphy having really good hands, and that's what impressed the coaches last year. But on that one, he just simply dropped it. It's going to happen from time to time, but you can't allow it to happen when you're wide open like that and you're trying to get back into a ball game.
0 for 4 on third down conversions of the Raiders. Ball to 45. It's another third. Gradkowski slips out of the pressure and throws, and that one is dropped. Clements might have gotten a hand on the Raider tight end. And there's a flag, so let's see what this is.
Defense, offside, number 98, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. The result of the penalty will be a first down, Oakland.
Paris Harrelson guilty of the violation. Harrelson led the 49ers with 8 sacks in 2008, which was the most by a Niner linebacker since Kevin Green at 10.5. That's going all the way back to 97. So the Niners gave him a 4-year contract extension, and he followed it up with 4 sacks last year. But that penalty gives the Raiders a first down near midfield. Gradkowski, quarterback, Campbell injured earlier, and the pass is dropped. Hayward Bay, but it looked like Paris Harrelson got a hand on that before it got to Bay.
I don't think he got a hand on it, Dennis, but I think that flash did get in front of him and bother him a little bit on that one because he's open. Ball hit him right in his hands, and Bay has had a problem holding on to balls, and I think that flash did give him a problem right there. That's a catch that he has to make. In this drive, we've seen 2 balls thrown, delivered great by the quarterback, seen him dropped, and that's something that the Raiders are going to have to fix.
Yeah, just 9 receptions, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown in his rookie season. Major disappointment so far. And in fact, bobbled the football on the pitch, but dragged down. That was the flag. Takeo Spikes.
Holding. Number 72 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Eric Pierce called for a holding.
It's another situation where Manny Lawson, 99, set the edge really well, and they had to hold him. The 49ers do a very good job of this, not allowing a team to stretch the field on him. They had to hold him on this play, and that was the only way they could stop Manny from making that tackle and causing the running back to run inside. That's something that their defense dictates that has to happen, and they're doing a good job of it.
Niners are elected not to take the penalty, so it'll bring up third down. So instead of pushing the Raiders back inside the 40, it'll bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. That is Zach Miller lined up in the Raider backfield alongside McFadden and Gradkowski. False start by the Raiders.
False start. Number 72 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Not the best of drives if you're Eric Pierce. 5th year out of Colorado State. And that'll push the Raiders back and bring up a 3rd and 15. Ball at the 45-yard line. 10-19. Clock ticking away here in the 3rd quarter. Niners with a 3-point lead, 17-14. And somewhat sloppy. 8 penalties for the 49ers, 13 overall in the game. 3rd down, 15. Gradkowski this time has time, and he throws, and that one is complete, and it's Hayward Bay who makes the reception. Patrick Willis was back there on the coverage along with Reggie Smith, but a nice job by the Raider receiver for a first down at the 37-yard line.
The 49ers went into zone coverage here, and they're trying to make him be patient and find an opening, and they were able to do it on that play. There was a tight window to throw the ball into, and Gradkowski was able to get it in. Hayward Bay that time, used his body, got the catch, moved the chains. That was a nice job of finding that space and sitting down there.
You saw the comparison between Crabtree and Hayward Bay, pretty one-sided. This is McFadden, gets near first down yardage as he skips outside and takes out a member of our technical crew, Takeo Spikes, in for the tackle with the 49ers. But look at this. Now, there were a lot of speculation that when Crabtree was there that the Raiders were going to take Crabtree, and Al Davis decided to go with the guy who can stretch the field in Hayward Bay. He was heavily criticized at the time, and I think those criticisms were justified over the course of the season. Now, in defense of Hayward Bay, didn't have a very stable quarterback in Jamarcus Russell, but we've seen tonight he's had a couple of more drops, but did come up with the big gain for 17 yards and the first down. Gain of 9 there by McFadden. It'll be 2nd down and 1. McFadden, the ball carrier, and he'll get close to the first down. Paris Harrelson makes the tackle for the 49ers. And that's a first down. Now the ball at the 27-yard line.
Timeout,
Raiders called the timeout.
First team timeout.
So with 8:20 now left to go in the third quarter, Raiders able to convert on 3rd down on the 17-yard completion, and now moving downfield. We'd like to know what you, the 49er faithful, think of tonight's game and this year's 49ers team. Go to CBS5.com, click on Sports. You'll find the 12th man message board. Share your impressions and ask Eric Davis a question. Is there such a thing as a code?
Yes, there is.
If you look at the Raiders over the past 10 years, Eric, only 2 Raider #1 picks have made their Pro Bowl. Sebastian Janikowski was drafted in 2000 and Nnamdi Asomugha, but we have Derek Gibson, Philip Buchanan, Robert Gallery, who was a tackle, now a guard, Fabian Washington, Michael Huff, Jamarcus Russell, McFadden, and Darius Hayward Bay. So mostly misses with a couple of hits. But they think they've had a good draft this year. Pump fake, Gronkowski throws, and it's caught by Miller, and Miller will drag Lewis in for a touchdown.
Dennis, that was an excellent throw right there. Gronkowski did a nice job looking off, getting the safety out of position. He had such a tight window that he had to place that ball into. The coverage was there, and Zach Miller showed his worth to the team right here. He was able to make a play with a guy draped all over him. I mean, you're going to see this ball. That's a tight window to throw it into, and he was able to get it done. That right there is just excellent football. There's nothing you can do about it. Sometimes they're just better than you on that play.
Well, he led Oakland with 66 receptions, 805 yards, 3 touchdowns. Interesting that both the Raiders and Niners leading receivers were their tight ends, but this guy is the bread and butter of the Raider receiver core. Leave no doubt about it. And that one puts the Raiders on top of the Battle of the Bay. They lead 21-17. The game of big plays, and the 49ers secondary, if you're looking for a criticism tonight, that's probably where you're going to find it. They've given up some big plays. Of course, that one to Zach Miller. There's a touchdown to Lewis Murphy, but it's been a struggle for Mike Singletary tonight.
No, the secondary, it has not been playing well, Dennis. You're right. These guys have given up some big plays, blown a couple of coverages, and they've also had some drop balls out there that could have been other yardage gained on them. So they're going to have to tighten that up.
That's Kevin Jerovich, takes the ball. The man out of San Jose State, the rookie. We got a timeout on the field. The Niners will have the ball when we come back. Well, welcome back, everybody. Jerovich got another opportunity to return a kick that was offside, so the 49ers actually end up with much better field position after the return by the kid out of San Jose State. Now, here it is again. It's a return of 49 yards. Now, watch the end of the play. Nice move by Jerovich, and then goes out of bounds and takes down the bench and one of the Raiders to go with him. Was that McFadden that went down?
Well, you know what? Juravich is he's one of those guys that Coach Singletary was talking about. You have to flash. You have to do something to make me notice you. There's a cut looming right around the corner here coming up next week, and these guys have to do something. And Coach Singletary said, I don't keep secrets from these guys. I will let them know exactly where they stand. I will let them know that if I need to see something from them. And you can see a few players on the field tonight saying, I'm trying to make a play.
I tell you, and this has got the feel of a regular season football game. The crowd coming to life here at the Coliseum. It's been a back-and-forth football game. The Raiders have reclaimed the lead 21-10. 8:05 left to go in the third quarter. David Carr at quarterback for the 49ers. Alex Smith impressive in his first half of play. Carr throws, and it's complete to Dixon. And Dixon just a couple of yards. Nice job defensively by Quentin Groves of the Raiders.
Very nice play by Groves out here. Patience by the quarterback, had good protection. Threw to his check down guy. Dixon did his job, but Groves was just able to come up and make the play. That's a win whenever you can stop a pass play for less than 3 yards. So, everyone on offense did their job, but you got to give the Raiders credit for getting the win on that.
He picks up 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8. Jason Hill now in the game. He's the man in motion at receiver. And the give is to Dixon. Dixon trying to get outside, cuts back inside, and carries a load of Raider tacklers with him to the 40-yard line. Ricky Brown is the man who finally brings him down. He is shy of the first down. They'll mark the ball at the 40. He needs to get to the 38 for the first.
You're going to see a great pull by number 62, Shiloh Rochelle. He's going to come around and lead up on this block right here, giving Dixon an opportunity to cut back inside. That's the patience that the young running back has to show. Give the offensive lineman an opportunity to do their job, block for you, create lanes, and then you use that big 245-pound frame that you have.
Well, the Coliseum has just come to life here. Third down and 2. A little long 2. Bakari Grant is in the game at receiver for the 49ers. The fake to Dixon. He's looking for Grant. All the time in the world. Throws, and it is incomplete. Nice coverage by Walter McFadden as the 49ers were looking for Delaney Walker.
This is a ball that if Carr had laid out a little bit further, I believe he would have given his tight end an opportunity. Delaney did have a step on him. The coverage was tight, but if he had just allowed Delaney to use his big body, and that's the matchup you want. You want to get a corner on a tight end with Delaney's size and the speed that he has. He has receiver speed and hands, but he has that tight end frame, so you want to give him an opportunity to extend.
Fourth down. 49ers are going for it. Dixon in the backfield. Carr to pass, and he throws, and it is incomplete, and there's going to be a flag. We're going to get pass interference, I think, or unless Bakari Grant pushed off, McFadden was the man out the coverage.
It doesn't happen often, but this may actually be offensive interference.
Pass interference. Number 22 to defense.
Well, they called it on McFadden.
First down.
It certainly appeared as if Bakari Grant used his hands to push off McFadden.
Well, you know what, Dennis, on second look at this, you know what, that's just incidental contact. I know it's preseason for everyone, referees included, but that right there is a guy, playing hard, and you got to understand that, there is going to be some contact out there, but he didn't do anything to stop Bakari Grant from running the ball, from running and trying to make a play on the ball.
That moves ball down to the 20-yard line. That's Bynum, the tight end, who is in the backfield, and he's blocking for Dixon, and he got thrown backwards, actually. It looked like Thomas Howard's man who pushed Bynum back, but he did make the block for Dixon. Ricky Brown makes the stop on the Niner running back.
Well, Bynum just found out that there's a landmine right on the 25, and he stepped on it. There was a landmine named Howard that just came right around the 25, 27-yard line, and I don't think he's looking for that one anytime soon.
Moran Norris is the mine sweeper, but he's out of the game. Paul Crick is now in at fullback for the 49ers. Second down. No gain. Flushed out. Now look out. He's under pressure, and he throws, but there's Dominique Ziegler over there. The Raiders I believe he just threw it away, but there is no ball. Chris Cooper is the man who applied the pressure for Oakland.
You're going to see Dixon come up and try to make a block here, and he did get his hands on the guy initially, but because there was that outside pressure by the Raiders, the quarterback felt the pressure. Carr had to step up, and he wasn't able to maintain it. Those things are going to happen, and that's just one of those plays where, again, you're getting the pressure by the Raiders. There's nothing really wrong by what's happening offensively. They're just making a better play.
That's another third down for the 49ers, and they're going to use a timeout. So with 5:55 left to go now in the third quarter, 49ers have a 3rd and 10 situation, but they're on the move in the Battle of the Bay. Here is tonight's Bud Light trivia question. Who was the last 49er to lead the NFL running backs in receptions? Think about that. It's not easy.
I think I know this one.
Neither is this for the 49ers on 3rd and 10. Carr flushed out again under pressure, and he throws, and it is incomplete. The only man over there was Dominic Ziegler, but once again, a good job by Clinton Groves. Joseph was in on there on the pressure, and the 49er field goal team forced to come on.
Again, you're just getting, the pressure by them. They're not able to get open downfield. Anthony Davis, he's doing a, pretty good job, holding off his defender and giving the quarterback a lane to step up into, but Shiloh couldn't sustain his block quite as long, and there was nothing down the field, so Carr had to throw it away.
There you go. Kick. Shane Andrews is doing the kicking for the 49ers, and he kicks it through. So Shane Andrews with his first appearance, and it is a good one as the 49ers now pull within a point at 21-20. There's a timeout. Welcome back to the Coliseum. And Eric, did you know the answer to this, the Bud Light trivia question?
Well, you know what? I thought I did, and
what do you think?
Well, I know it now.
So did you look at my cheat sheet?
I know it now. I'm not going to say.
When they were building this, I think, well, it's obviously Roger Craig, right?
No, I never thought it was Roger.
Oh, okay. So anyway, it's Tom Rathman. 73
Woody.
Receptions. Jacoby Ford back deep to receive for the Raiders. Fastest man in the draft should come as no surprise that it was the Raiders who took him. And he gets about to 20 to the 22-yard line. 4.28 in the combine. Raiders drafted him in the 4th round. Track star Clemson, 5'9", 185 pounds. Let's go downstairs to Kent Coyle.
All right, thanks, Dennis. Alongside Double Trouble, we've got Moran Norris and Frank Gore here. Moran, how did Frank look out there tonight to you?
Well, he looked real good. The runs he had, he looked real good. Looked, fast, explosive, and the Frank Gore I know.
Frank, how did it feel out there tonight getting your first action?
I felt like a kid. I was happy. When Coach Jimmy Ray came to me earlier in the week and told me that he's going to let me get a little work in this week against the Raiders, I told my boy Moran, we got to practice like game pace now for real, But I felt great, especially to get out there with my O-line, my teammates. I feel real good.
Moran, did you know that Frank used to check Brian Westbrook's stats every week kind of and use it as a measuring stick?
I mean, I know he used to go at the top running back. We both do. I'll be on this side, and it'll be our goal, what we got to get. So whoever's the top running back, that's who we go after.
Frank, you said you're in your fighting weight, is what you told me earlier this week. What does that mean?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go to 20 games. I feel great. I worked very hard all season, and I had a great camp. And I'm just ready. I can't wait till the first game starts.
Kind of a unique experience because you guys are going to get to actually play the Raiders again not too long from now. How does this experience help you guys now looking down the road?
It's preseason, but we always want to win, and it's a good taste of the water right now. So we got them again in the upcoming season. So
Frank, just your impressions of Anthony Dixon while we have you here.
Anthony Dixon is a very good player. Very big guy who can move very good, very good. And he's just learning right now, and then he'll be fine. He can help his team.
All right, right, guys, thanks so much for taking the time.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dennis, back up to you.
Look, on 3rd and 10, and the Raiders pick up the first down. So game of big plays continues. That is a first down for the Raiders as we get a look at Rock Cartwright, who's up to this point has been returning a lot of kicks. At that time, a completion out of the backfield. Keaton Christic made the stop.
The Raiders definitely didn't want to see this, another hard hit on their quarterback. They've already had one down, and Walker was able to get in, but before he was hit, he was able to dump the ball off, and again, as you said, that was a nice game to get the first down on that play.
Yeah, Rock Cartwright, good receiver, 27 receptions, 242 yards and a touchdown last year, and he takes the ball, gets across midfield to about the 49-yard line. But this is the 9th year in the league for Cartwright. Ran for 228 yards for the Redskins last year. Real name is Roderick. It's obviously not Rod. Taylor Mays made the tackle for the 49ers, but Oakland added a lot of veterans to the backfield. Of course, Michael Bennett is here, and Rock Cartwright 9 years in the league, and Bush, and then McFadden. The departure was Justin Fargas. 2nd down. Fake to Cartwright, and the throw is complete, but a nice job by Pema defensively to make that stop. And that was the first reception of the game for Nick Miller. And when you watch Nick Miller in camp, he is electrifying. 2nd year out of Southern Utah, he's 5'9". But he made the final cut after going undrafted last year, but suffered a shin injury and missed his rookie season. Pema, a veteran for the 49ers.
Nice close, nice finish on that last play. Just let him catch it for 5, make the tackle.
So first down, Cartwright. And it looks like somebody moved on the Raider line prior to the snap.
False start, number 51 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's Chris Morris, and Morris is in a battle right now. I mean, Samson Satelli did not start at center. Beltier got to start, the rookie, and Morris was passed over in his 5th year out of Michigan, competing for that job, but botched the snap in the shotgun formation last week that resulted in a fumble and called for the penalty there. And it's Cartwright. Cartwright goes inside, gets about 4 yards. LeBoy in the tackle. With Will Takawafu, Derek Walker. Don't forget to tune into Game Day tomorrow night, 11:30. San Jose State football coach Mike McIntyre and former Giant and Diamondback Matt Williams. You know that San Jose State opens up next week. You know they're opening up against, Eric, by chance?
San Jose State opens up with, is it Ohio State?
Is it Alabama?
Alabama.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to Mike about the scheduling. Cartwright with the football. But, obviously it's an opportunity for them to generate a lot of revenue. Navarro Bowman makes the stop on Cartwright. Bowman is another player that the 49ers are awfully high on. The rookie linebacker, 3rd-round pick out of Penn State, has had a great camp, and he's drawing those comparisons to Willis, and I brought that up to Singletary, and I got the look.
Well, you know what I like is that he relishes that pressure. He wants those type names to be synonymous with his, and I love also what his teammates said about it. Patrick Willis said he's not just a good football player, but and a great football IQ. He said he's an intelligent man, and the game is coming easy to him.
3rd down and 11, and it's Bennett, former Viking. And tomorrow, Bowman immediately got his arms wrapped around Bennett's legs. Bennett had some good years as a member of the Minnesota Vikings in his 10th year in the league. But so I mentioned, hey, there's comparisons to Patrick Willis for Navarro, and as you got the Singletary eyes again. I'm not one for comparisons.
Patrick's a special guy, but this guy's he says he doesn't mind the comparisons to Patrick Willis. His favorite player is Ray Lewis, and he wants to be that type player.
Well, 57 yards kicked. This is a chip shot for the Raiders kicker Sebastian Janikowski. It is up. Does he have the distance? Of course he does. Sebastian Janikowski had a career year last year, hitting on 26 of 29, 89.7 with a long of 61.
He was 6 of 8 from beyond 50 yards. So he signs the biggest contract ever for a kicker, $16 million over 4 years, and you know he's worth every penny of it. He's a game changer. I think he and Shane Leckler combined, probably the best special team kickers combination in the league.
This guy is the only kicker I can honestly say was worth a first-round draft pick. He's the only one I've ever seen. You're absolutely right. You know that if you cross the 50-yard line, you have a pretty good chance of getting points, and that's a weapon to have on your ball club.
Absolutely incredible, and that one puts the Raiders up now 24-20. Let's see if Janikowski can. He's come close before on his kickoffs to booting it through the uprights. Now, there is a slight wind, or had been, towards the silver hole over there. So 34 seconds left in the third. The drive is 9 for 39, 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Juravich will take it in the end zone. Don't feel bad. Not many get a chance to return it against Sebastian Janikowski, although Juravich did have that 50-yard return the last time. 49er.com for the latest 49er news and information. We're just a couple of weeks from the beginning of the football season. The 49ers will finish up their preseason against the San Diego Chargers, a game you'll see right here on CBS 5. Mike Singletary, by the way, Eric, has a little red book that he is taking notes with, and it's probably little notes for evaluation. You got a cut day coming in a couple of days here. Here come the Raiders on the blitz, picked up. Now Carr's flushed out, and Carr gets across the 20 to 23-yard line. One of the knocks on David Carr has been holding on to the football a little bit too long. But better that than an interception is obviously that strategy there. Joey Thomas makes the stop.
He didn't really have anything going down the field in this opportunity. So, as you said, sometimes it's better to just, take the hit or just throw it away. An incompletion can be a very good thing sometimes. Sometimes it's smart to take the sack. There he was able to get a couple of yards out of it, and that was all he could do on that play.
So time has expired here in the third quarter at the Oakland Coliseum. A Janikowski 57-yard field goal has extended the Raider lead. And they now lead the 49ers 24-20 in the Battle of the Bay. It looks like a thrilling conclusion. The fourth quarter coming up from the Oakland Coliseum.
Alongside Patrick Willis, the Pro Bowler. And Patrick, if quarterbacks in this league didn't know who you were, they certainly do now, especially Jason Campbell and Brett Favre last week. The big hits on them.
I'm just coming out of each game, just trying to get better. Just taking these preseason games as a chance to warm up and just get better each game.
Did you just want to come out here and make an immediate impact tonight? It seems like you really set the tone for this 49er defense.
Well, I just honestly, we just wanted to come out and play team defense, and we did that. I couldn't do none of that without those other guys. The other guys have to set up their blocks. They have to, run their blitz and stuff, and allow me to be able to make plays as well. So I couldn't have done it without them.
There are a lot of comparisons to Navarro Bowman to you. What are your impressions of him as a rookie?
Oh, I like Bowman. Bowman comes to work every day. A tremendous athlete, and he listens well. And I'm just glad to have him on our side.
What do you think of Phillip Adams' return for the touchdown?
I like that. One thing Coach Senior talked about since training camp began, and that's about, our special team had to be special. And tonight for them to get a touchdown like that, it really, it's good for our team and it's good for our special team.
All right, Patrick, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
All right, Dennis, back up to you.
Thank you, Kim. And many people believe it is the 49ers defense that will get them back in the playoffs for the first time since 2002. Of course, many things have changed in the NFC West, and the 49ers appear to be the beneficiary of the transition. Carr, Rose, the Raiders are doing a great job. That was Cooper who came in to put the pressure on Carr, and Cooper is an interesting story. His 8th year, he was a former Raiders 6th-round pick in 2001, but he's been with Dallas, the 49ers, Niner fans may recall, Seattle, Arizona, Seattle again. Then he played for the California Redwoods. The Redwoods, that's Denny Green, right? And here he is again with the Raiders, and he's had a good game tonight. Put pressure on Carr consistently. Second down and 10. Carr pump fakes one side. Now he's under pressure and gets away, buying time, and not that time. Throws the ball out of bounds. It was Thomas Howard who applied the final pressure, forcing him to release the football. Howard putting the pressure out of Texas El Paso is missed only 2 starts in 4 years with the Raiders.
Well, one thing I can tell you about David Carr is that the way he came into the league with the Houston Texans, he's accustomed to running for his life. So he doesn't panic in those situations.
That's true. That's to say he never panics. Or at least he doesn't. He's got his game face on. Poker face, I should say. And Carr is forced to call timeout. So the Niners will have just 1 timeout remaining with 14:22 left to go in the 4th quarter. So indecision on the 49er offense forces Carr to burn another timeout. The Niners trailing the Raiders 24-20. You join a team and it's brand new expansion, you're going to have difficulty. Here is David Carr when he came into the league.
And then starting a new franchise down there in Houston, it was everything was a first for us. Our first road trip, our first win, our first touchdown, our first everything. So we had to have a press conference for everything. We have to have, media fanfare and everything for everything that was new. So it was a tough first year, but I got a lot of great friends there too still, and it was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So the pass is complete to Dominic Ziegler, Jeremy Ware with the tackle, and a good stop because it's going to bring up 4th down. And the Niners are going to have to punt the football. So a nice job defensively by the Raiders, and Ziegler did not get to where he needed to be for the first down.
What Ziegler is doing tonight, though, getting open, catching the ball. The receivers on the field right now, this 4th quarter, they're not just competing against the Raiders. They're competing, against one another and trying to get, that last roster spot. And those 2 guys out there, and Jason Hill and Ziegler, are really, really in a tight battle. So it should be fun to watch the rest of the game.
Johnny Lee Higgins, he's dangerous. Not dangerous enough on this one. Gets back to the 15-yard line. Mike Belligan, the 49er linebacker, makes the stop on special teams. And with 13:31 left to go in the game, the Raiders leading the 49ers 24-20. And we've got another timeout on the 56-yard punt by Andy Lee. Where the Raiders leading the 49ers 24-20. First down and 10. Gronkowski still at quarterback for the Raiders, and the pass is complete. Lamar Figures looks just short of the first down, picks up 9 yards. Carl Payman makes the stop. Well, the big news tonight, of course, is that Abrea Franklin signed, sealed, and delivered by the 49ers. Of course, the nose tackle who never got that much credit, I thought. People talk about Justin Smith and Patrick Willis, but it was Abrea Franklin who really was where it all started. He would break down the play and let the other guys get the credit, but Abrea Franklin signs his tender, so he'll be in uniform for the game against San Diego. This is Michael Bennett with a nice move on Pema to get the first down across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Taylor Mays finally got him out of bounds with a flag.
Well, talking about Abrea Franklin, the defense for the 49ers is set and predicated on the play of the nose tackle. Defensive coordinator Greg Minuski says that that's what they have to do to play sound football. They're going to push up into the quarterback's face, set the edge. We've talked about that tonight, how they're going to set the edge on defense, and no one did that better than Abrea Franklin. He is definitely the heart of the middle of that defense, allowing Patrick Willis to run and make plays, and we all know what he can do.
Okay, they picked up the flag, so the Raiders on the Bennett run have the ball at the 35-yard line. They lead the 49ers 24-20, 12:36 left to go in the football game at the Coliseum. Gronkowski has time, and it's complete. Figures has the ball. Pema was there on the coverage, close to another first down. Depends on where they're going to mark the football, but Yvonne with his 3rd catch for the Raiders.
The 49ers pass defense has just not been good tonight. I know Coach Singletary will not be happy about that. This is another opportunity. You get yourself in man coverage situations. You want to show the coach that you can make these plays. Now, out routes don't beat you. They irritate you. But when you're having a night like the secondary is having, you want to be the guy to make a play out there.
And that was complete. Todd Watkins has the ball tackled immediately by Adams. Adams, the man who had the touchdown earlier for the 49ers. But that does get the ball across midfield.
And here, situation, zone coverage. You want to come in, limit the game, make the tackle. That's it. He caught it for 5. You tackle him for 5. And, and I was talking about the play before. That was a man coverage situation. You want to knock that ball down when you can. There, you make the tackle. That's the weakness of the defense.
Picks up 7 yards, figures in motion. They line up 2 receivers on the left on 2nd down and 3. Bennett in the backfield. And it's Bennett with the football. A former Viking trying to get outside and skipped by one would-be tackler and gets the ball to the 48-yard line. But it'll bring up 3rd down. Keaton Christic makes the tackle, but Bennett in his 10th year. In 2002, he ran for a career-high 1,296 yards. But over the 9 years, he never even reached the 500-yard plateau. And there were a lot of injuries involved there. But so far, he's run for 132 yards on 27 carries for an average of 4.9 in the preseason. In fact, he leads all Raider backs. It has not been a good night for the Raider running backs. Oakland 2 of 7 on 3rd down. They got their 3rd down situation here, 3rd and 3. Gradkowski. This is where he is so dangerous. He throws, and that time it is knocked away. Adams, nice play defensively for the 49ers, and the ball was intended for Jacoby Ford. But, boy, Adams is showing up. Special teams and at cornerback. Now, this is what made Gradkowski so dangerous last year. Some people compared him, Eric, to Jeff Garcia. And the two played together at the beginning of camp last year before he left. And Gradkowski has some Garcia tendencies. Daisy Waters in punting now. Adams lets that ball go. That's a smart decision by Adams to let it go into the end zone. And the 49ers touchback will have the ball at the 20-yard line. Call 415-GO-49ers or visit 49ers.com for 2010 season tickets. Packages include the Monday night opener versus the Super Bowl champion Saints, plus the Sunday night matchup against the Eagles and the Bay Area showdown with the Raiders. Of course, Niners open up at Seattle and host the Saints and go to Kansas City and Atlanta in back-to-back road games fairly early on in the season. Well, 10:15 left. Niners still trailing 24-20. Look over the middle to Ziegler, and Ziegler makes the reception across the 30 to the 32-yard line. That's good for a 1st down. Joe Porter on the coverage.
Earlier in the game, Ziegler ran that same route and got smacked in the face. He took a very hard lick early in the game by Huff, but you know what? This is what a ball player has to do. Show the courage to come back in and make that play. Earlier in his career, there were questions as to whether or not he would do that, but you see he's going back in there knowing that there's a safety in the middle of the field and he's making the play.
Dixon dropped the football, gets it back, turns nothing out of something, and it gets all across the 40-yard line. So Stevie Brown made the stop on Dixon. Nice job by the 49er rookie, did not panic, picked it up and made a gain. It picks up 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the 49ers, trying to escape with victory in the Battle of the Bay. Their running game has been spectacular. First 3 quarters, 20 carries, 116 yards for a 5.8 average. And it's Dixon. And Dixon gets near the 45-yard line, and that ought to be, is a 1st down.
And there he did show the patience on that one. That was designed to go off tackle, and he did. He didn't worry about jumping outside. He followed his blocking, allowed them an opportunity to give him just enough of a crease to where he could just fall forward and get the yardage, using that big frame that he has.
The Raiders, by the way, have averaged just 2.5 yards per carry through the first 3 quarters of this football game. Here, John Finley, the tight end in motion. Carr to pass, throws, and it's complete. And it's Ziegler. So Ziegler is getting a good look. He picks up almost 8 yards. Jerome Boyd forces him out of bounds. But I think this is a big game for Ziegler. And on the opposite side of Ziegler, I think Jason Hill as well.
A nice read by the quarterback. He read the cat blitz, the corner blitz, and what Ziegler did, he read it as well. He just stopped short of the safety, turned around, and took the easy yardage. And you said it, Ziegler's getting his opportunity. The coaches obviously want to see him. They're calling his number, and he's producing.
Picks up 8 yards on that. Finley's the tight end in motion on 2nd down and 2. And it's Dixon. He gets the first down and gets near the 40-yard line. Dixon, of course, spectacular as a running back at a Mississippi State. He ran for almost 4,000 yards in college. And you're going to see one punishing hit, I think it's this one. I think he's going to take 5 guys into the end zone with him. There he goes.
And I love what
That's not fair.
Dennis, I love what he said when we asked him about playing in the SEC and playing in the NFL. And he said, well, there is a difference. They keep telling me that the defensive linemen are going to get tired. And he said, I keep waiting for it, but they just keep running after me. They keep running. I can't get away from him. He said, I haven't seen it yet. They don't get tired.
Well, what we were saying about Dixon as he picks up 7 yards on the play, but they were saying he's got to learn how to play without the football, because in college he always had the football. And what we mean about that specifically is blocking, but he's made strides in that during this camp.
Well, and another thing you see for a big man, he has the size of a fullback, but just there, he was out in space, running the arrow route like a receiver and made the reception.
That one thrown a little bit too high for Dominique Ziegler. The intended receiver, Jeremy Ware, was there on the coverage, but it'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for the 49ers, trailing 24-20. There's 6:31 left to go.
Going to see De La Puente finish on his block too. He's trying to protect his quarterback there. That was just out of the reach of Ziegler. A little high, dangerous throw.
Right.
You don't want that one to fly high because you give that defensive back who is going to be behind your receiver on that play an opportunity to make a play.
Niners 4 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. This is a big one at this point of the game. Carr is going to have room to run. Jumps to try to get the first down, and I think he got it. And he's pointing towards the first down yardage. Jeremy Ware got the last hit, Ricky Brown the first one, but how about that? Is this a preseason football game for this guy?
You know what? This lets you know that he cares about the game. It's preseason, but look, he's giving up his body. He's trying to get the first down, and that right there, that right there is a rally for the entire team. That right there lets guys know that this matters. That's a veteran player showing the young guys that every snap is important, and that does a lot for your ball club.
Ball on the 28-yard line. First down. Finley in motion. Jason Hill is to the right side. Ziegler to the left, and that, if he had to burn that last time out, he had Byam, who was the tight end in the backfield. There may have been some confusion there. Now with 5:47, the 49ers don't have any timeouts left. So we have a timeout on the field. 49ers trailing 24-20, but driving. But it's been Raiders ever since, with the exception of a 49er field goal. But the Niners have it. First down and 10. Ball to 28-yard line. David Carr, quarterback for the Niners. That's a quick slant pattern, looking for Dominique Ziegler. Threw it slightly behind him and incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down. So Ziegler is getting a long look here in his 3rd year out of Baylor. Spent the entire 2009 on the practice squad, but they know his potential. He's got great hands, good size, 6'3", 185. He's done acrobatic things in the preseason. And with Isaac Bruce and Battle gone, maybe his chance to crack the roster. And it's Dixon. Dixon, a big hole across the 20. Needed to get to the 18-yard line for the first down. I think he's there. Jerome Boyd made the stop. That's the 11th 10th play of the drive for the 49ers started at 10:15, so the clock's still running with 5.5 left to go in the game.
Great blocking up front by Raggy, and he was able to just cut right behind that and go downhill, and you get that big frame. I mean, this guy's brought in for late times in games like this, late in the season, when you start wearing down on bodies, and you know, he's a tough guy to bring down, and you're seeing that.
The 18-yard line was the mark, and Niners just inches shy, so it will bring up 3rd down.
These are valuable snaps for these guys. I mean, this is an important time of the game. It's a game of relevance to these guys. If you're playing against an opponent that you're going to see again, you're playing in a game where the score is tight, you need to get something done. And you're playing in a game where a lot of these guys are playing for their football careers. There's a cut looming around the corner, and you know, they put together a solid drive, and let's see if they can finish it off right here.
Yeah, they got 2 tight ends now. Dixon is the tailback, and they go to the fullback, and he gets the first down to the 15-yard line. Jason Gunheim made the stop by the 49ers. They pick up the first down. McCulkrick, that was his first carry. And it was a big one. Free agent fullback out of Michigan State gets the first down for the 49ers. So the clock continues to move, approaching the 4:30 mark. Carr, good pass protection, and it's Dixon out of the backfield. Gets away from one man down to the 10-yard line. What a move by the Niner rookie. As the clock continues to move, the ball marked it to 10. Pick about 5, Jerome Boyd made the tackle.
I believe Dixon just broke 4 ankles on one play. Look at this move. You see this big man, he's leaning on people, and take that. I mean, the guy didn't grab anything but air on that. I mean, he literally broke 4 ankles on one play. Take that. Outstanding move by a big man.
That was Joe Porter who got faked out of his shoes on that. A pick up of 5, 2nd down and 5. Dixon again. Dixon gets the first down. Needed to get to the 5, got inside the 5, and like the highlight we just showed you, it takes a host of Raider tacklers to bring it down. Ricky Brown at the bottom of that pile. Jerome Boyd is there as well. What a drive by David Carr and the 49ers.
Well, I was saying that this is an important drive for the Niners. There are guys on the other side of the ball fighting for their football lives as well. So let's see if they can stand up and make a play. This is fun football.
Michael Robinson just came into the football game, and he's got it. Michael Robinson pushed back at the 1-yard line. Robinson appeared to have daylight as if he was going to get in there, but then Ricky Brown said, not yet. Ricky Brown is 50 out of BC in a battle at that linebacker spot with Travis Gaethal, and that time Brown makes a nice play. He started last season as a strong side linebacker, but an ankle injury in week 5 derailed his season. So it'll be 2nd down, ball at the 1-yard line. And it's Dixon, tries to hop over, and Dixon gets turned back. Legs sticking up in the air, did not get in. Got back to the line of scrimmage at the 1.
It's another one of those short yardage situations where the 49ers didn't win at the point of attack. Everything bowed back, and Dixon understands that he's trying to get his feet under him and get over the top, but he just wasn't able to get enough going on it. As you see, it's all muddled up. Everyone's at his feet. The front end of that offensive line is just blown back into the backfield, and you can't win on a play like that in a short yardage situation if you don't win the point of attack.
And we have hit a 2-minute warning at the Oakland Coliseum in a thriller between the 49ers and the Raiders. The Raiders lead, but perhaps not for long. I have not seen a signal. No, he hasn't. The Raiders have held on 3rd down. And the Niners will have it's an obvious decision because they're trailing 24-20. And now they signal touchdown. Touchdown 49ers, and they've taken the lead with 1:43 left to go. The Raiders are furious with the placement of the football. They don't believe it's a touchdown. But the signal's gone up, and the Niners take the lead.
Crunch time in a football game. These players out here had to get it done. Backups on the field, young guys on the field, learning the game. Excellent situation to stay calm, come down, and right here, the Niners won the point of attack. Dixon used that big body and was able to fight forward and get into the end zone.
Well, I think we're going to have a look at, and there's your angle, at whether or not he got in because the officials have called timeout, and they're going to go have a look. But this drive, 16 plays, 80 yards, 8 minutes and 31 seconds, culminating in the Dixon 1-yard touchdown run. And there is how much the Niner running back played in this drive. So I'm not sure how conclusive this is going to be because of the pile of bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happened. What you can see on camera on that last shot that we had is that, his progress was stopped momentarily, but they didn't blow a whistle, and who knows what happened as he continued to fight underneath that pile.
So the worst thing for Singletary right now is if the Niners get this touchdown and Janikowski kicks a 70-yard field goal to send it to overtime.
There's no way that scenario will come into play because Tom Cable will not send him out on the field to kick it.
If you look at the Raiders' schedule, they open up at Tennessee, and Tennessee, of course, with Vince Young, finished very strong last year. But if the Raiders can win that football game, and I know it won't be easy, but then they've got St. Louis, of course, with Bradford, the rookie at quarterback now for the Rams, and Arizona. Who is the quarterback? Derek Anderson apparently has unseated Matt Leinart as the quarterback, really by default.
Which means they don't have a quarterback.
They don't have, and apparently they tried to get Kurt Warner out of retirement, and he on his Twitter said no way. So that's not an option. So if the Raiders can get past Tennessee, they've got St. Louis, Arizona, and then Houston. So it's a schedule that really favors the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders have an opportunity to get some things done this year. They have some talent around them. They have stability at the quarterback position. The offensive coordinator that they brought in tends to get the best out of the players that he's coached in the past, so you have to expect him to do it again. So things are looking well for them. The talent is there, and what's happening in their division. You look at No Dumerville in Denver. You look at the fact that they lost Brandon Marshall. They have an opportunity. Kansas City is Kansas City. They have an opportunity to really make some noise and start that climb back up the ladder.
And that's the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
They pretty much had to stand. There was nothing conclusive that was going to change that. And so the 49ers have taken the lead with 1:44 left. And pending the extra point, that'll be up to
Number 71 is reporting is eligible. 71.
Oh, okay. Maybe Singletary now goes for 2, and thus there can be no possible tie, which is the smart thing to do. And this is what Singletary is going to do, and this might have been his best decision all night. They better hurry up. The Niners cannot stop the clock. They cannot call a timeout, excuse me. Now Carr throws, and Joe John Finley, but it's Nate Byam who comes down with an extra for the 2-point conversion. It looked like Joe John Finley might have been the intended receiver. The Niners had 2 tight ends, and it was Nate Byam. And the Niners have a 4-point lead.
It's almost like the catch, huh? Like the catch Sue right there, huh? Just string it out and throw it up and let a guy grab it in the back of the end zone. Byam dropped one earlier in the game to hit him right in the face, but here he was able to pull this one in. And, he was under a little duress there. Had a hand on the ball, made a pretty good grab there. He's known as a blocking tight end, but right there he was able to make a play for the Niners.
Well, he's 6'4", used every inch of that. Niners lead by 4.
Like we're
There is the Magnuson-Lexus Fremont play of the game. Took a while for the officials to figure out, but once they did, the Niners had a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and they're up by 4. Jacoby Ford with the football across the 25-yard line and driven back by Britt Miller, and that is where the Raiders will have with 1:38 left to go. So Gradkowski has done it before. Matter of fact, he did it several times. 4 of the Raiders' 5 victories in 2009 came as a result of late fourth quarter scores. And we showed you what he did against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that wasn't the only one. Certainly capable of doing it right here. Gradkowski throws, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, and Brandon Myers, Reggie Smith there on the coverage, but Gradkowski led him just a bit too much. So 1:34 left, second down.
And Reggie's still playing sound ball. You know, he's had a couple of plays today that he would like to take back. I'm sure he will learn from those plays, and they'll only make him a better player in the future. But this guy is taking strides to be an every down player and a solid player for the Niners.
Figures for Watkins, the receivers on 2nd and 10. All was the 26. The Niners have no timeouts. And deep downfield, he's looking for Watkins, and he overthrew him. Carl Pema is the receiver, and it looked more like Watkins was pushing off Pema. Let's see what the officials say.
Dennis, I agree with you. It definitely looks like that was offensive pass interference. We will see what they called, but it did look a lot like the receiver was pressing him.
Number 41 of the defense.
Well, I'm 0 for 2 on those. My preseason.
Dennis, I'm with you on this one. Here, Pema can't do much more. He's running, and he's trying to keep up with the guy. He didn't grab him. He reached for him, but he didn't get his hand on him. So, you want to call – they call that play that he's impeding the guy's progress and not allowing him to get to the ball. But that was an offensive player, if you ask me, trying to get the leverage on the defensive back.
So first down, ball to 40. Gradkowski throws, and he completes to Myers. Myers gets out of bounds. Pema is the man who pushed him out. Raiders can stop the clock twice more. The one statistic that the Niners aren't going to like, 9 penalties for 77 yards. The Raiders 8 for 65. Now you're starting the linebacker on the blitz, and that is incomplete. Jacoby Ford was the receiver. Taylor Mays over there on the coverage along with Tremaine Brock. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 with 1:19 left to go in what has turned out to be a great football game at the Coliseum.
Get a similar situation that you had for the Niners where they had to go down and drive and score to try and get the lead, and their offense had to come up with something. Defensively, the Raiders had to stop it, and now flip side. So all of these players, these young players, and fringe players are getting an opportunity to really show the coaches how they can handle the pressure.
Now they're showing blitz and to come. Here comes the kitchen sink. They got a man-to-man coverage, and it's incomplete. Figures was the intended receiver. It was Phillip Adams.
You have to love what Phillip Adams is doing tonight. He's in the middle of it. He's out making plays. He's in a situation where Coach Singletary said, I need some guys to show me something. And this guy when he's on the field, he's been showing them something. He's finding a way to just get his hands on the ball right there. That's just excellent position. He didn't panic. A lot of DBs panic in this situation, and he was able to just get his hands inside the receiver's hands. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Well, that was a little bit of luck on that, but here it is. This is your ball game. 4th down for the Raiders. 4th and 9. Ball is at the 40-yard line. Gradkowski throws, and he's got a man. Watkins, incomplete. It looked like he had the football. Reggie Smith was there. Pema was there. And the ball settles on the turf. And with it, the 49ers will win the football game. Watkins appeared to have a step and looked like he had the football.
Watkins had an opportunity to make a play there. Reggie is right there making it difficult, and that's the position that you want to be in. You make them have to make the perfect throw, the perfect catch. They got the perfect throw, but they could not complete the perfect catch, and that's what you want to do defensively if you can't get your hands on the ball. And the Raiders came up a little short, and the Niners came up big on that play.
Yeah, Gronkowski thought he had another Pittsburgh Steelers finish in that one. It's not going to be the case, as the 49ers will run the clock down. The Raiders can stop it twice more. But well, they do stop it. I thought they might just let the clock expire with, it's a preseason game.
It's the Battle of the Bay, Dennis.
It is the Battle of the Bay.
Bragging rights. You want to walk into the restaurant next to a Niner or a Raider, and they say, okay, sir, we will seat you first because you won the game. Neighborhood bragging rights.
Yeah. Dinner at the House of Prime Rib for sure. Greg Minuski is a great guy to speak with. We got him in the meeting this Thursday to talk about the 49er defense. And I tell you what, you talk about coach's stock rising. That guy has done a fabulous job with the 49er defense. And it's Dixon. And Dixon will just go down at the 40. At this point, you just want to hold on to the football, and the Raiders will spend their last time out.
And speaking of the 49ers, Greg Minuski, he's the defensive coordinator. You look at the offensive coordinator, Jimmy Ray, of the 49ers, and either one of those guys could have their own half-hour comedy show. I mean, they are really great guys to talk to.
They should get their own radio show.
It was so funny when Boss said he didn't understand a lot of the things that he would say to him. Said most of the time, he comes up with all these different scenarios and comments, and he'll make these things. And he said, I really don't know what he's talking about most of the time.
We were in a meeting 2 weeks ago with Jimmy Ray. He goes, hey, we don't want any Jim Palmers on the quarterback. And we're all looking at each other, and we're like, well, what's a Jim Palmer? Well, it's a no-hitter to the quarterback. You don't want you don't want a no-hitter to the quarterback. Oh, I knew that. 54 seconds left. Third down. The Raiders cannot stop the clock, and they will likely get a chance to return a punt. That'll be it. Travis Gaethal makes the stop for the Raiders. Gaethal is in a battle for the linebacker job with the Raiders. But Campbell's just had a whale of a football game defensively for the 49ers. So Andy Lee will come into the punt, and the Raiders can't stop it. Clock moving with 25 seconds. Nick Miller is certainly a game breaker. He's only 5'9", but man, can he move with the football. Standing at the 12-yard line. Clock moving, 15, 14, 13. And the Niners will probably take a penalty here and let it expire. Here it is. Cal and Stanford. You ready?
Well, this is the type play right here where you can make a team, and you could definitely get cut from a team on a play like this.
Singletary says, please just get me out of here. The Miller now up to the 15. And he called for the fair catch at the 12-yard line as time expired. How does Nick Miller call for the fair catch as time expires? He did.
As I said, there are ways you cannot make a team.
I assume that Miller wasn't aware of the situation, or either coaches said, hey, make a fair catch, let's get out of here. That's certainly a plausible scenario in that situation. So Mike Singletary comes away victorious in what turns out to be a thrilling football game in the Battle of the Bay as the 49ers beat the Raiders 28-24. There are things that Singletary won't be happy about. Pass defense struggled tonight, but the running game. And, there's been questions about him. Matter of fact, I brought it up to Singletary in a meeting because there was a lot of speculation in the papers this week. The Niners running game wasn't where it needed to be. And remember, I pressed him. I said, listen, I'm fine with the running game. The running game is absolutely fine. And that proved out to be the case tonight. With the starters, backups, didn't matter. The Niners were able to move the football, and if the car starts with 21, he certainly drove it well tonight.
Yeah, well, definitely. You know, they're getting a little farther into the season. You saw more game planning. Now, you know, you saw more pulling run schemes into the offense today and in the running game, and these guys were able to create running lanes, create holes, and you saw 21 do the things that they expect him to do. The linemen feel better with him back there. He has the patience, he has the strength to get it done, and you see now why Coach Singletary really isn't worried about that running game.
Yeah, and the pass protection as well, Eric. Well, right now, let's go down to the man who got a lot of pass protecting for him, Kim Coyle with David Carr.
All right, thanks, Dennis, the man who engineered the 16-play, 80-yard drive. David, you're out there jumping over people to make first downs. Did you save anything for the regular season?
I know.